At this time, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps and join the Northwest High School Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Tim Uning and Mrs. Sarah Boys for the playing of the national anthem. And we also ask that you please remain standing for the Northwest High School fight song.
Welcome to OHSAA football, live from the Fred Hunt Press Box on the campus of Northwest High School, Linda Hunt Field. We bring you tonight's game with all the hard-working assets of Waycross Media. I'm Jacob Williams, and along with my partner, Patrick Lewis, will bring you the call. Now these Northwest Knights come in against the new Carlisle Tecumseh Arrows. These two teams know a little bit about each other, Patrick. This is the third year in a row they've played. Northwest has won both the previous encounters, but tonight, Coach Massey promises me that his team comes in here with a solid defense and star performers on both sides of the ball. Right. Patrick, it's been a couple weeks since I've seen you. Since I saw you last, what have you been doing to cover the time?
Well, sir, I've missed you. I really have. You know, your smiling face has always been something I look forward to. But it's been a couple weeks, you're right. And you're very much accurate that both defenses are going to be the thing to watch tonight. The game last year between Northwest and Tecumseh was in favor of Northwest, 47-24. So if their defense is going to be their high point today, they better stop them and not give up 47 points. That can't be the goal tonight. Both teams are coming in 2-0. Both teams have high aspirations for this season. I know Northwest came from a 9-3 season last year. They have high aspirations for making the playoffs again this year. We can be anticipating a defensive battle tonight, I think. There's not going to be a whole lot of offense in terms of going down the field. You know, they have a spread offense for Tecumseh, first instituted this year, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, we're going to see what happens, Patrick. We won't know unless we have the officials. And the officials for tonight's contest, and the referee is Mark Kling. The umpire, Dan Hill. Head linesman, Greg Kling. The line judge is James Mitchell. And the back judge is Doug Krupa. And those are tonight's officials. We're about to get this jumped off. We see the Tecumseh Arrows taking the field, sporting their flag.
Yeah, today is a special day for the people of Greater Cincinnati, especially here at Northwest High School. We're honoring somebody from Little Miami who has been diagnosed brain dead. And I know both teams are carrying heavy hearts, especially Northwest, who's closer to Little Miami than Tecumseh. Tecumseh's from New Carlisle. They're not necessarily as personal as it for Northwest, but it's going to be a heartfelt game for both teams tonight. And that emotion hopefully carries over to the field, and we see a good emotional game. And both teams carry with the student athletes that they are, and play respectfully and professionally, and play within the terms of the game.
Well, Northwest comes in here. Coach Nate Mahan now in his second season, as the Knights feeling no doubt good about their chances. And who can blame them? His boys are a focused bunch who seem to come at you in waves. And with 2 wins in their rearview mirror, the 14 campaign and life's been good to them so far. Of course, the Knights look like they're sporting new uniforms or different uniforms. And Northwest will start this game by kicking off to Tecumseh. Northwest will be defending the south goal, and Tecumseh will be defending the north goal.
Yeah, we got a senior kicker, Alex Shebeck, number 12, kicking off. Big boy, 5'8", 200 pounds.
Yeah, we saw Shebeck in that first game when Northwest played Anderson. They were still holding auditions, and actually they're going to have to improve, but we got this game underway. The kick is up and off. Received by the Tecumseh at the 25-yard line, excuse me, the 15. He's up the sideline, breaking tackle. It's going to be all the way out to the Tecumseh 48-yard line there. 47-yard line, we'll call it.
Yeah, that was a great return. Number 15, Brody Martin for Tecumseh, gets it on the short kickoff and really just goes up the sideline. Gets a great block from his return team. Doesn't get touched really until close to midfield, up by the 47-yard line. Makes a good stop from possibly going for a touchdown.
Of course, Northwest usually has good special teams, but it looks like their special teams are going to be put to the test. So here we come, Tecumseh taking the field. Looks like they're going to have number 43, a quarterback, and he takes a direct snap, and he's over the right side for, looks like, first down yardage.
Yeah.
That's Cameron Moore, number 43, 6'3", 225-pound senior for the Arrows.
Yeah, we hear from the head coaches at Tecumseh saying it's going to be going with the wind, seeing which one is going to be quarterbacking out there. And it looks like Cameron Moore is going to get the start. And he's going to be, I think, a both sides of the ball type of athlete tonight.
Here's the snap to Moore. He fakes a give, and he's around right in once more. Takes a direct drive and piles over a Northwest defender.
Cameron Moore is a big guy. He's 6'3", 225. And for high school, you don't want to take a guy like that down that's running full speed like that. And if he's going to be keeping the ball like that around the corner, you're going to have a gang tackle on him. He's going to be doing that all night.
Shane Baldwin made the stop for the Knights on that. First down. Here's Cameron with the ball again. The ball's fumbled out on the carpet. It looks like Tecumseh got it back.
Yeah, unfortunately, right there, you see Ty McCowan, number 1 for the Knights, miss a tackle. I know the Knights are highly regarding him. He's going to be one of the biggest guys on their team that colleges are going to be looking at this season. He had a stellar last season, but he's got to have containment right there. He was in position to make the play. He's got to wrap up. Luckily for Tecumseh, they got the ball back.
Second down, 8 to go. Cameron with the ball, hands to number 4, and he stiffs-armed the guy around right in, but he's not going to be able to pick anything up for the Arrows on that.
Yeah, Tyler Pruitt, a senior, 5'9", 185 pounds, gets the handoff from Cameron Moore, and he looks like he's going to be the speed to the power of Cameron Moore. And number 43 for the Knights, Julian Caldwell, he's a senior as well, 6', 195. Comes right out the gut and doesn't make the tackle, and well, now we have a penalty.
Flag on the play. Getting a little bit jumpy on defense, jumped offside, and looks like it'd be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, that was a tough penalty for them. They had him in a good situation, the Knights did, and giving up that penalty is going to make this more than manageable now for Tecumseh the way they've been running the ball. I haven't seen a pass yet. Don't foresee seeing a pass here on 3rd down either.
So here the Arrows break the huddle. Give inside, he twists around and would-be tackles. He muscles his way close to 1st down yardage.
Yeah, Tyler Pruitt getting the call again, doing some spins, making some moves, doing the joystick, little number A there, making a spin, getting very, very close to the 1st down. They might be calling it 4th down. If they're not even well, they are going to measure. It's probably a good call.
Okay, so it should be 4th and 1. 9:10 left to go in the 1st quarter. Tecumseh looks like they're going to be going for this.
Yeah, it's about a ½ yard short. I don't blame him. You're outside field goal range. You're not going to get much punt in it, so why not?
He knows this guy, number 43, could muscle his way in there probably. Gives to number 5. He's around right in. Avoids the tackle.
He's going. Oh.
Skips his way up the sideline for 1st down yardage.
Yeah, Connor Henry, another senior, 5'10", 180 pounds, gets out of the eye. Very different look than we saw the first series here. The very first play we see that's not in the spread offense. We get under center, and Northwest wasn't ready for it. I thought they were going to go up the gut, but surprised me. It looks like it was all bottlenecked up there in the gaps, in the A and B gaps. So he just took it outside and made a good run, made a 1st down. That's what you need, vision.
And here's Tecumseh. They got trips left. Direct snap. He throws his pass out in the left flat.
Oh!
Tackles, but Northwest defense smells that out, and they're all over it. Looks like number 29 in on the stop for the Knights.
I'm sorry.
Julian Daniels.
I got a little excited here. Number 5, Connor Henry gets it, but then watch number 43 come and get this block right here. Boom! Right on he gets that crackback block, and even though he didn't make any gains, I love those kind of hits when the quarterback puts his face in somebody's helmet.
Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 13 on this. High snap, but he pulls it in and fakes the give, and number 77, number 11, that's Brandon Schoen on the stop for the Knight defense.
Yeah, this is a good defensive stand right here. It's a high snap, but he corrals it, makes something out of nothing, but very good shooting up the gap by Brandon Schoen. He himself is a senior. A lot of seniors making plays all of a sudden in this first series for both teams.
Well, according to my conversation with Coach Massey, he's indicating where number 43, Cameron Moore, is going to be doing quite a few things for his team. Throws that ball a little bit behind the receiver, incomplete. 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like Kenyon Watson, number 10, I believe, might be wrong on that number. It was Kenyon Watson, number 10, a 5'9", 160-pound sophomore was intended on that pass. First pass we've seen, quite inaccurate. It's probably why they stick it to the ground. But if they're going to run the spread offense, you're going to have to pass the ball at some point. Whoa.
Well, snap is high. It's gotten away from Cameron Moore, and he's fortunate to get on top of that ball. before number 29, Julian Daniels does. But either way, Northwest will put it in play at their own 46-yard line here.
Yeah, Julian Daniels, another senior, 6'1", 160, getting up the field. A good thing he just fell on this ball, because if he tries to grab this and make a play, Julian Daniels is going to get him, and you probably see another fumble, and he's going to scoop and score. So it's a good thing the quarterback just fell on that football, and rather than trying to make a play out of it.
So Northwest Knights look like they'll open with number 12, Brandon Shelton at quarterback. 5'10", 185-pound sophomore. He's throwing pass over to number 25, Devon Jackson, and he muscles his way through would-be tacklers for first down yardage for the Knights.
Yeah, Devon Jackson, we didn't see a whole lot in the beginning of the Anderson game when we first did it, but he decided to sprout it a little bit at the end, and he's right off the bat getting involved with this game, and you can see the first down yards. He's churning it. He's making an effort, yards after the catch.
So he's got Corey McGinnis back there with him. Looking to pass over the middle. Jackson again, but he slips after picking up about 5 yards.
Yeah, I bet he's touching that football and slamming it between his hands, saying, man, I really wish I had my footing on that one. That's a 5-yard, nice route. And he just gives away, and he definitely, it was basically a similar play as last time. He should have got more yards after the catch on that.
So here come the Knights, 2nd and 6. Shelton receives the snap, gives inside, but unfortunately, they're waiting for Corey McGinnis. No gain on that play.
Yeah, Corey McGinnis, another senior, 5'9", 195. Didn't see a whole lot of him versus the Anderson game, but hopefully the McGinnis brothers come in here and make a difference. I know Cortez is going to get his hands on the ball at some point, probably in the return game or on defense.
He'll be playing super defense for him. Knights are looking over to the sideline for the play. Here's Shelton. He's got the snap. He's looking to throw the ball downfield. Ball's
nice.
caught by number 18 down the right sideline. And that's Darius Hayes, Caruth.
Yeah, this is a great play. Great touch on this football. Brandon Shelton, like we said with Tecumseh, we didn't know who was going to play quarterback. And they were in the same type of situation, but he puts a good ball where Darius Hayes Caruth was just wide open and gets the ball and makes a play on it and gets the yardage necessary. I mean, this is a simple pitch and catch. There was nothing special about this route.
Okay, here's Shelton. Back there, he's got trips left. He kicks the man in motion. Give it to Jackson in motion, and he turns right in and upfield, close to the 10-yard line. He'll be stopped at about the 11 here.
Yeah, Devon
give again there.
I apologize, David. Yeah, you want to see Devon Jackson probably make a move here. He's got the defender on his heels a little bit. Number 25, Michael Bresley, for the Arrows, and you want to see him give him a little juke and score on that play. I mean, I know he's a big guy and probably run over him, but you want to see him do a little bit more there.
Same play, but Tecumseh Arrows are waiting for him this time. Might have picked up a tough yard, but they call that a first down, though. Good for first down carry.
Yeah, very similar play like the last one. Kyle Terrell, number 2 for the Arrows, getting the first stop there. Unfortunately, it wasn't soon enough, but a similar play with similar results.
There's Shelton, Corey McGinnis back there with him. He gives to McGinnis, and he cuts it outside for, looks like about 4-yard gain.
Yeah, I like these plays to a certain extent. They got trips to the left, and you get the ball to your running back. And if he doesn't see anything up the middle, he goes right and makes a play with his athleticism. Unfortunately, he only gets 4 yards out of it. But I think if this keeps going on, the Arrows don't have containment on the right side there. Their DBs are just going to have one-on-one matchups, and I think McGinnis is going to win those later.
There's Shelton. He fakes a give and keeps it himself, but Tecumseh Arrow defenders are waiting for him, and that's it. No gain. Maybe even a loss or one.
Yeah. Not sure if this is the game plan or not, but this is the first time we've seen Shelton run the ball, seen in a couple of Northwest games, and he did not look good. So I think it's probably safe to say that they should probably put the ball in the playmakers' hands and let them dial it in.
So this brings us to 3rd and 10. Well, it's 5, 3rd and 5. 3rd and goal, actually.
Yep. You're going to get a timeout here by Northwest.
Of course, in talking to Coach Massey before the game, Patrick, he was concerned that his arrows were going to have to make adjustments for the speed of Northwest. He says their previous 2 points didn't have anywhere near the speed of Northwest, so he's concerned about making those adjustments.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, right, like I said, they're both coming in 2-0, and their defenses are their keys. But as you can see, a little bit has shown that Cameron Moore is a big quarterback, and he plays defense as well. And they're all big guys that want to stop the run, get inside, and make you spread outside. But that's Northwest's game. Northwest's game wants that to happen. And when Northwest gets their playmakers on the outside and they don't contain them within the box, that's going to be an issue for them. And they play a 4-4 defense, Tecumseh does. So they're going to have to spread those linebackers out a little bit more and blitz, the corners possibly if they get that. But I mean, 4 in the box should be taking it to them, but they're not. They're going up and down the field on them. But we'll see what Northwest does coming out of the timeout here. They got Hayes Caruth there on the right side, split out wide. He's got one-on-one matchups.
Here's Shelton with the snap. He's looking to throw over the middle, but that ball is defended well by the Arrows. Looks like that was number 1 defending that pass for the Arrows. Number 21, rather, Clay Maston, freshman.
Yeah, I don't want to be Nostradamus here, but I knew Hayes Caruth was gonna get that ball to some extent. Being 5'11" junior, they went to him early and they had a one-on-one matchup, and they felt like he's the best receiver now, and that's where exactly they went. If they didn't tip that ball, that would have been 6.
Well, here they are on 4th down in a position where they're going to have to go for it. Tecumseh calling timeout. Of course, we know, Patrick, last year in this situation, Northwest would have went to Kyle Kostoff, put it through the uprights for 3 points, but I guess tonight they have other plans in mind for their offense.
Right. And he is receiver-wise, I mean, they don't throw the ball a whole lot at Northwest. But receiver-wise, when they do throw it, they go to Hayes Caruth. He's the only person that has, and technically, I would say the longest touchdown, the longest receiving touchdown this year, and they trust him. So that's why they're going to go to him. Jamarco Lewis, also on the night squad, has a couple catches. He's number 10. He's also a senior. He's not as tall. He's only 5'7", and much lighter, about 30 pounds lighter. So Hayes Caruth can, make plays. He's the tall guy. He's like the A.J. Green of your squad.
Okay, so here they are. Here's Shelton. Gets the snap. He's looking, flag on the play. So that's going to be against Northwest.
Yeah.
Ball start on Northwest. So.
And that hurts, being 4th down. Now they're going to have to kick. So number 90, Alex Shebeck, is going to be coming in again and start kicking them for it. That's unfortunate. I really thought they had a shot there to make something happen. They had the matchups on the field. Man.
So here's Alex Shebeck coming in here. The Knights got to figure out who's going to be handling toe for him this year. And that kick is up, and that kick looks pretty good from here, and it is. So, 3:56 left to go in the first quarter of this game. Northwest Knights 3, the Tecumseh Arrows 0.
Well, it looks, Jacob, to be the threat of this game so far as we look again at the extra point. Getting a little curve on that. But it looks like penalties are impacting both squads for their first series. And miscues, honestly, for Tecumseh. And we had that just that penalty right there for the false start. There was an offsides on Northwest to get them on 3rd down, to get Tecumseh very close on 3rd down range, to get them a 1st down and manageable. I think Northwest, I mean, they look better athletically. the Tecumseh with the first couple series. That's my guess. And if they don't hurt themselves, if they don't beat themselves on their side, they should be in a good position to win this football game.
The thing it looks like with Northwest on defense, even though they come at you in waves, they're going to have their work cut out to keep this Mr. number 43 from wearing them down. Here we go. Steps off into this ball. Alex Shibik does, and it's picked up by the Arrows at their 5. And he comes up with it up to the 30-yard line before he's run out of bounds by the Knight special teams.
Yeah, Lloyd Witcher, junior, 5'6", 149 pounds, got him a stick right there on the left sideline. And it seems like if Alex Shibik is going to be kicking it that way, they're going to keep running that way. And right now, they got the ball on the 30-yard line. They had the ball on the 47-yard line last time. They'll take that field position. I'll take that field position any day.
Well, here they go with this field position, and coming out the Arrows offense, number 43, ready to get the snap. Cameron Moore. We're looking over to the sideline. Coach Massey sending in signals like he's a third base coach down there. And here comes the snap. It's Cameron Moore throws his ball complete to number 5 at the Arrow 37-yard line.
Yeah, Connor Henry with the reception there. It's a well-thrown ball, tight spiral, right on the money. He knew where he was going right. He gets it, he looks through his progression and makes a good solid throw. Maybe a little bit of a duck there, but I won't be too much critical. Number 4, Peyton Brown, makes a good play for the Knights to get him out of bounds. He'll be on 1st and 10. Nice gain there. Actually, it'll be 2nd down. I thought he gained more than that.
Okay, so here's Cameron Moore with the ball, muscles in there, but he's going to be stopped short. Northwest defenders are starting to figure out what they're going to have to do to stop this guy tonight.
Well, so far he hasn't been too much of an impact up the middle. As you see there, they had a short yardage situation, and he only got a couple yards. So it looks like their best bet is to go outside, but Northwest is showing blitz here. See what happens.
Looks like Coach Massey's sending all the plays in there from the sideline coaching staff.
Oh.
Cameron Moore, he's got the ball, and he's going to move it up would signal the 1st down by the officials.
We'll see. One official's getting one side, one official's getting the other. They're giving him the 1st down.
That'll be a 1st down with 2:56 left to go in the 1st quarter.
Well, I'm glad Cameron Moore just proved me wrong, because they went up the middle and they shot the A-gap blitz-wise and went right through it. Should have made the tackle, honestly. They had an opportunity to make it.
See, Cameron Moore is going to go under center. Means he'll turn and give the ball to number 4 there.
Fumble.
Tyler Pruitt.
Northwest guy, they say.
Tyler Pruitt fumbles that ball.
Yep, there it is.
Northwest has it.
All right.
Who we got there? Yeah, Hurry happy about that one.
That's Shane Baldwin. It's our boy Shane Baldwin.
Shane Baldwin
he
he
finds the jewel here. You see that? It's just there. It's just lying on the ground. He's like, hey, guys, look what I found.
Room service fumble recovery for Shane Baldwin. He's over here at the Northwest bench. Still excited about that.
Yeah, he's pumped. He wasn't a part of the play, but you got to be in the right place at the right time, and Shane Baldwin was.
Here's Shelton throwing the ball over the middle, complete to number 25, Devon Jackson.
Wow, Connor Henry from the Tecumseh Arrows getting a stick, and I love it. Oh man, right over the middle. You got to be careful here, not to use his shoulder. It's a very clean hit. It was one of the very first plays that the Knights played in the very first series. So they knew it was coming, and he was going over the middle, and he was waiting for him. Love it.
So here's Brandon Shelton in the pistol. Turns and gives the ball to Corey McGinnis, and he's muscling his way into the pile. Couple yard pickup.
McGinnis, a big guy at 195, senior. He's got lower shoulders, and he's got to take a couple guys to bring him down. That's going to have to be the Tecumseh's way to gang tackle him, because he's actually going to be good.
Ball's incomplete. Looking for Devon Jackson over there again.
You see Cameron Moore on the defense, number 43. He's quarterbacking. He's playing both sides of the ball. And if Deshaun Jackson makes that catch, as we look at the previous play on that one, if he makes that catch, Cameron Moore is going to be right there to give him a stick too. I mean, he's going to be tired. If he's going to be playing both ways, Jacob, he's going to be tired come the second half.
But that's what they have to do. They got to let this man use his stamina to have a chance to win this game if you're Tecumseh. So here comes the Knights. Shelton looking, flag on the play.
Yeah. Yeah, Nate Mahon, the head coach, was just livid about something on the sideline for Northwest. I don't know. He was yelling at the official in his ear right before that false start. Not sure what it was about, but that's never good to see your head coach yelling at an official this early.
Well, sometimes the heat of the game gets to everybody.
Got a good crowd out here today, Jacob.
Breaks the huddle. Pardon me?
Got a good crowd out here today.
Oh, yeah, the Northwest crowd always supports their Knights. Here's the give again to Jackson. He's around right in, breaks the tackle, and he's going to be run out of bounds at the Tecumseh 18-yard line.
Yeah, he gets that yardage back up, and this is where he could be deadly. He's just going around, giving that stiff arm, breaking tackles, going up that sideline. That's where he's best. I mean, granted, he's a bigger guy. He's low to the ground. He can lower those shoulders and really put a hurting on somebody, go out the middle. But that's where I think he's going to be effective. Get those jets going, go around the side. I think Corey McGinnis is going to be doing the same thing. Get these athletes in space.
That's right, Patrick. They just got too many guys that can do different things with the ball. Well, it's complete over there to Devontae Jackson, but the defense there that time led by number 55, Stephen Marker, 5'10", 165-pound senior.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I like this play call. It just wasn't executed properly. You got to get a block out there. I didn't catch the number for the Knights, but you got to get that block. I mean, if that block isn't executed, this whole, I mean, as you saw, was just completely blown up. And unfortunately, being fourth down, they're going to have to turn it over on downs.
So Tecumseh in here after taking over on downs. Looks like they got number 13, Matt Crane, in at quarterback right now. 6 foot, 175-pound junior.
Yeah, we just talked about Cameron Moore playing on defense, so maybe that's why.
So here's Crane. He gets the snap, and he's going to run around left in, break a tackle, and pick up good yards.
Yep. This is a great job by the offensive line, especially the running back, putting a stick on number 43 for the Knights, trying to make a play. Unfortunately, Julian Caldwell has to get off that block. That running back can't make, you can't have him block you. I mean, a running back against Julian Caldwell, a senior, 195, he's supposed to blow him up and make that tackle.
That's right. So here we go. Matt Cain rolling to his right, fending off a tackler, and he throws it away. It's complete. No intentional grounding. Oh, yeah, here they come with a late intentional grounding call on that. If that's what that flag is.
Brandon Shunn for the Knights on that stop, Jacob. That was a really good play by number 11. Well, let's see if he makes it back to the line here. He's clearly outside the pocket here on the fake. Great blocking out front by the offensive lineman until Brandon Shunn gets a hold of him, and maybe, no? Yep, barely, yes. Well behind the line of scrimmage. That down marker that you saw right there at the end, number 2, for the down marker, well behind that. So that's definitely the call. He was outside the pocket, but you have to have, for the criteria not to be intentional ground, you have to be outside the pocket and thrown past the original line of scrimmage.
So here come the arrows. Trying to convert this 3rd and 15. They need to get this ball out of the shadow of their goal.
Yeah, this would be a big stop for Northwest if they could do it.
Matt Crane dropping straight back, going deep over the middle, but incomplete. There's the 4th and 15.
Well, this was a good defensive, I think, strategy. They actually put a lot of people in coverage. I'm not sure how many they put, but it looked like they rushed 3 or 4, and they put a bunch in coverage. And I think instead of blitzing that time was a good call, because I didn't think the quarterback knew where he wanted to go with the ball, and everyone was covered. I mean, that's probably a decent play, getting rid of the ball.
So Tecumseh has this guy back to kick for him. Kick is up. Low kick, but it's got some distance on it. Like it's going to roll out of bounds about the Tecumseh 46-yard line. 45-yard line, excuse me.
Yeah, that was a big defensive stop for Northwest. They're going to get the ball on their side of the field and on Tecumseh's side of the field, and that's great field position. So Northwest being, they got to take advantage of this field position, I think. They have the athletes to do what they need to do, and they keep going for it on 4th down, and they didn't do it last time. They didn't make it, so they gotta execute. Make sure the receivers, if they're gonna pass the ball, make sure they block.
Here's Shelton, gives inside. Look at this, breaking tackles. Corey McGinnis, but that ball's loose again.
Tecumseh saying they got it.
Sort out what's going on.
Yep.
Official signal. Tecumseh recovered this fumble.
Yeah, you can see the disappointment on Brandon Shelton's face. Corey McGinnis, look at this spin.
After he turns, he's got that ball hanging out a little bit.
Yeah, and he grabs it with 2 hands. I believe that was number 11 for them, Andy Suazo, I believe, just grabbed it with 2 hands and started pulling. It also could have been Logan Sloan, number 12 for the Arrows. I'm not sure who it was, but he just, he had it, but you've got 2 hands on the ball when they're just driving by. He's just going to rip it out.
Tecumseh setting up shop on their 23-yard line, man in motion.
Reverse.
Double reverse. Number 5 with the ball. But he's going to be snowed under by the night defense.
What a play.
For a big loss on the play.
Yeah, this is just great discipline.
People stayed home.
Yeah, he sure did. And honestly, that's a heck of an athletic play by number 29, Julian Daniels.
And a good play by number 43, Cameron Moore, not to throw the block in the black. That no doubt would have had to happen.
You're right.
And here's Cameron Moore. He gives to number 4, Tyler Pruitt, and he's twisting around there. About 4 yards, but not nearly enough.
Yeah, watch Michael Carter here on the left. He's going for the quarterback and he's not watching the ball. Tyler Pruitt's got the ball, and number 99 for the Knights doesn't realize it. So he just goes right by him to his left. He's got to watch that. He's got to be more disciplined, get down to his defensive stance, get his hips behind him and make sure who's got the ball, and he can make a play.
So that's the end of the first quarter here. Northwest High School with a score of your Northwest Knights 3 and the Tecumseh Arrows nothing. At this time, I want to remind any of our viewers out here who enjoy these telecasts that they're free and welcome to volunteer their time and expertise. You can always use your help at Waycross Media to cover these games. Deepen your sense of belonging. Mentor a minor. Declare your dedication. Cheer up a shut-in. All these things you could do by picking up the telephone and calling 513-825-2429 or visit www.waycross.tv/volunteer.
All right, start this quarter. Let's hope we see more offense. I know this is going to be a defensive game, but I'm hoping for some fireworks here.
Moore fakes, pumps the throw, but he tucks it in and runs.
Oh, man. James Dean for the Knights just got run over by Cameron Moore at the end of that play. I think Cameron Moore wants to come out at that point. He's a little tired. He's looking at him. He's like, come on, coach. Oh, he's not. He's just getting the play. He's just walking really slow.
4th and 20 on this.
He's out.
Looks like big number 78 is going to handle the... Okay, ball's on. 4th and 6, so we got big number 78 handling the kicking. looks like
Well, who do we have back for the Knights? Look at Cortez McGinnis and I believe Shane Baldwin. Two scary guys, I'm going to be honest with you.
that's the speed on special teams that the Knights are going to have at their disposal this year.
Shane Baldwin especially, him and his kickoff returns. He hasn't done it with the punt this
Number
year.
78 sticks his foot in there. That's Isaiah Trimble.
Nice hit.
Cortez McGinnis brought down by number 13, Matt Crane, Matt Crane.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you get the ball on a bounce like that, you want to be able to, A, secure it, obviously, it's the first step. But to make sure when you get the ball on the bounce, there's probably going to be defenders around you just because it's a low kick, you know, and it's not going to be as far as you want it. So when you get the ball, you want to make sure that, obviously, like I said, secure it, but make sure there isn't going to be people around you. In that case, it was such a short kick that there was somebody right in his grill. You wanted to be careful of that.
So here's Shelton rolling to his right. He throws the ball. It's complete. Devontae Jackson's got a first down here. It looks like the ball's going to be spotted on the arrow 44-yard line.
Yeah, this is the first time.
45.
I'm sorry, Jacob. But this is the first time you see him rolling to his right and throwing to his right to his ball side. And every single time he's going to be, Jackson was going across the middle and he was throwing against his body. So this time he was rolling his right and makes a really good accurate throw on his ball side. So maybe that's what they should start doing if they feel comfortable with that.
Here's the give inside. Busting through there is Corey McGinnis, and he's close to another first down.
They got a good rhythm here. Let's see if they can keep up. They're just going to go no huddle here and see if they can keep that rhythm.
McGinnis going straight north, and to that Arrow defender's credit, he was willing to hang tough to make that play. A lot of guys get run over on situations like that.
There's an official's timeout here. I think a player had an equipment issue. But we're getting some subs in for Northwest. Hayes Caruth is coming back in. I'm wondering if they're going to keep with the air or stay on the ground here. It's 2nd and 1. This is a good down to go the air if they want to. Being on the 37-yard line, I would.
If I was him, I'd just get this first down and worry about going to the air when you got a fresh set of downs. But they're probably listening to you.
Nah, listen to
Oh,
you.
Man, what is this? Give his to Corey McGinnis, and he runs in there kind of timid, and gets stopped for no gain on the play.
Yeah, number 76, Hunter Hensley. He's a sophomore on the Arrows, making a good stop there. He's looking at him. He's pushing with his buddy 59, Seth Martin, who the Arrows are very high on as well.
6'4", 250-pound senior. So it's going to be 3rd and a yard. Timeout being called.
Yeah, Seth Martin was one of a few Tecumseh returnees from last year in Division II, getting honorable mention of All Southwest District last season. And they expect big things out of him. He's a big body in the middle there.
Give inside.
Nice job.
For McGinnis, tough yard, maybe. We'll see. Oh, it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, Brian Walters, a junior, 5'7", 165, making a good stick there. Maybe they should have listened to me on 2nd and 1 going by the air. They got, 2 runs, now making it 4th and 2. They're going for it here. But
got another whistle. Timeout being called now.
Okay, here we go.
So here comes Brandon Shelton over there to get the play from Coach Mahan. Back in the huddle. They break the huddle and come up on the ball. Justin Burke was senior center over the ball for the Knights.
A lot of people on that line of scrimmage. They're looking for a run here. They only got one safety back. Number 25 is going to be wide open. There's no one covering them. Northwest.
Like they were trying to get him to jump offside, but they weren't going for it. So they had to burn that timeout.
I don't see, I mean, yeah, that, when they lined up there, Devon Jackson, not Deshaun Jackson, was wide open there in the slot. They had trips left, and he was wide open. There was no one covering him. And in my opinion, if you have 4th and 2, I mean, honestly, maybe I'm asking too much of a high school quarterback that's, you know, maybe just very little experience quarterbacking at this point. But at that matchup, you see he's uncovered. You get that to your playmaker and just roll with it. Give him, I mean, he's got a first down. Giving it to him.
Well, the Knights are going to have to come up with some serious urgency because they keep getting stalled on these drives, and they only got 3 points to show on the clock. That ball's completed, though, for a first down, and Devontae Jackson muscles and twists his way in there where that ball's going to be spotted on the arrow 30-yard line.
Yeah, it was a good pass. It's right there. I mean, I thought that he did a great job recognizing the play, and, I mean, again, I saw it, and maybe that's what the coaches were telling him on the sideline, saying, hey, let's pass it. They're playing that 4-4 defense and expecting a run. Maybe just get it over to him.
Number 11, Andy Suazo on the tackle for the Arrows. Here's the give to Devontae Jackson, but he's met. But he'll still pick up 3 yards.
Devon making a lot of things happen here between him and Shelton. The 2 playmakers for the Knights right now. Extending play. That's a little hold there.
Little hold they got away with.
We'll say that Dalton Culver, we'll say his name unfortunately for not all the right reasons, but number 9, Brian Walters for the Arrows is getting held a little bit there trying to make a play.
Here's Brandon Shelton throwing to his right. Devontae Jackson got the ball again and got that ball about the 24-yard line for the Arrows.
Yeah, going up the ladder, Devon Jackson is right here. If that ball is lower, he gets it right there in the numbers. He can continue to run and probably outruns that tackle and gets more yards after the catch there. Unfortunately, it's just going to bring up 3rd down in about 5.
6:40 left to go in the half. Come the Knights. Shelton gets a snap, looking to throw over the middle deep, and he's got to fall off, but unfortunately, a little bit too much.
Yeah, he unfortunately let him too much. He saw it, and he was there, and those sideline passes are tough because you don't want to leave him too far, but that's exactly what he did. He let him too far. Unfortunately, it's going to bring up 4th down. If he catches his ball, it's a good chance that he's going to score.
Oh, yeah.
But they're going to go for it. Another 4th down situation.
Yeah, they got to go for it here.
Neither kickers are decent at field goals. Extra points, neither of them are that good, so this is probably a good call.
So Shelton, straight drop, but he's going to be snowed under by the Tecumseh defense and know where to go with that ball, so Tecumseh holds on defense.
Yeah, good defensive stand there. It was good coverage by the secondary. We can say that's probably a coverage sack because he did have time to step up in the pocket and look downfield, and by that time the pocket collapsed and he had nowhere to go with the football. Good all-around defensive stand on that possession by Tecumseh. Even though they did let a 4th down go by him, it was still a good defensive stand.
Okay, so here's the Knights out here on defense again. Ty McGowan, along with his crew, number 29 out there with him, Julian Daniels. Snap. Moore throws his ball complete to number 5 over here. He's up to the 40-yard line. Near midfield, he crosses midfield. He's got blockers set up to run his ball. And the Knights finally get him shoved out of bounds on their 21-yard line.
Yeah, great pass by Cameron Moore, recognizing he's back in at quarterback after getting a breather. And he whips it over there. Nice, tight spiral. Gets it open, breaks the tackle, not just for the first guy, but unfortunately, I think Shane Baldwin was a recipient of a missed tackle as well. Gets a good stick from number 2 for the Arrows, Kyle Terrell, at the end of that, making him get more yards after the catch. A very good athletic play by Connor Henry.
Connor Henry giving something else for Cameron Moore to work with here. Moore's got to snap. He's looking to throw deep over the middle, and he lets fly incomplete.
You know, what I see wrong with this play is that the receivers are looking too much for the ball. They got to run their routes and look at the defender in front of them. And this, as we look at the previous replay that Connor Henry made, you're going to see this block coming up here. Right there. That's a good block in yards after the catch. I mean, he's going getting an extra 10, 15 yards there after the catch.
Okay, so here we go. The Arrows face the give, and he turns it around right in, breaks the tackle, and he's going to be, looks like about the 19-yard line of the Knights.
I like this Cameron Moore. He looks like a quarterback, but he plays like a linebacker. And you can see right here what I was talking about earlier, where these receivers, they're looking too much for the ball. Remember, they should just run their routes, get ahead of the defender, and then turn your head, and then the ball should be right there. They shouldn't be looking for the ball before it's thrown. They should be looking at the ball while it's in the air.
There's Moore, gives inside. This guy runs 2 tackles here. Number 15, Brody Martin, 5'9", 160-pound sophomore.
Yeah, Brody Martin, number 15, the sophomore, making a play here. Gets a good hold by his offensive line, but still doing his due diligence and breaking tackles. Cortez McGinnis making a play to save the touchdown. First and goal.
Northwest has to get points on this board because looks like we've got 5:11 left to go in the half here. Here's the guy running the ball around right in, and touchdown for the Tecumseh Arrows is signaled.
Yeah, Connor Henry got him down there. It's more than appropriate to give him the ball, to give him those extra couple yards. Good blocking up front by the offensive line. Offensive line's played well. Good block there, good hole. Number 4, Tyler Pruitt, making a nice block and springing them. And really, they could have had a chance, the Knights did, to stop him there at the goal line. But Connor Henry moving those legs, getting those high knees up and churning it and making sure that he gets some help from his buddies to push him in for the touchdown.
So here comes the Arrows to attempt the extra point. Matt Crane is the holder. But it's blocked.
Nice. Is that Cortez? Let's see who that was. I think that was Cortez. Can't see the number there on the replay, but I think that was Cortez. He's making, I love this guy's determination. He's a good defensive player, but on special teams with him and Shane Baldwin, they really make it interesting on the plays that you think are just routine. And this is what makes or breaks a game sometimes, especially in a defensive battle that we anticipate and are seeing tonight. This could be a game changer. Now you only have a field goal to tie it instead of a touchdown. And the way the Northwest is playing, every series is going to have a 4th down. So maybe they can start thinking, well, now we could just tie the game instead of when you get down to the 20-yard line, going for it on 4th down. That could be a big deal.
The Northwest is going to have to definitely amp up their intensity with this game.
I agree.
They're just leaving too many points out there. All of these fumbles and whatnot. But to the Tecumseh Arrows' credit, they didn't come down here just to show up. They're definitely giving an account of themselves. It looks like number 7, Wade Maston, is about to kick it off to the Knights. And here we go. Picked up by the Knights on their 18-yard line, right up the middle. Straight north with it. And he's going to end up on a 50-yard line for the Knights.
Is that Shane Baldwin?
See who that was. Shane Baldwin.
Sure was. My boy Shane Baldwin. I knew he was going to come into play at some point because he's gotten already a TD off a kickoff return, and he's got the speed. See, once he accelerates, he's got that top speed. He's breaking through tackles. Look at Cameron Moore's even on special teams. the guy does not get a rest. You got to give him credit. He's going to be exhausted by the end of this game, playing all 3 facets of the game, but he breaks through a Cameron Moore tackle. Let's see what Northwest could do with great field position again at midfield.
There's Brandon Shelton. Got McGinnis back there with him. Gives it to Guinness. He's going straight north. Looks like about a 5-yard carry.
You know, with 5 minutes left in this half, if they can continue to run the ball and they don't do a hurry up, they might have, you know, I mean, I'm not saying they will because they're on the 45-yard line right now on the good side of the field, but they might be being clock conscious here.
Timeout called by the Arrows.
That helps.
Yeah, Northwest, it just seems like they have to throw the ball to Moore. They're just one guy, being Devontae Jackson. They got to find a way to get somebody else the ball.
Yeah.
In a pass.
You're right. You're right. If they're going to pass the ball, like I said, Darius Hayes Caruth is a very decent target that can catch the ball. That's a big target. I mean, he's a big guy, 5'11" for high school. That's not extraordinarily tall, but I mean, he's a junior. He's experienced. He's 157 pounds. He's a big guy. I mean, the biggest guy right now on the field comparatively to their DBs. So they give him the ball.
So here's Shelton.
They got trips to the left. They give
him inside to McGinnis. He runs over a would-be tackler,
nice.
Breaks another one, and he's in there for first down yardage, all the way down to about the 35-yard line, 34-yard line.
Yeah, this is the pulling guard. You see him doesn't really get in front, just gets in front of him enough to make the defender try to lunge at him at his feet, and doesn't really get a good vision on the tackle. Able to break that one to get an extra 5 yards and a first down.
Northwest on the move again. He's got the snap. Here's the throw to Devontae Jackson. Little bit to where he couldn't hold on. Had to come back to that one a little bit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. A better pass. I mean, it was a decent pass. He hits him in both paws. He's got to catch this ball, unfortunately. He's got multiple options on this play. We're looking at the previous play before that. But if you look at, oh, man, he had multiple options, and that was a deep out route, and he had him. And if he just left it just a little more air, it would have been a perfect pass where he didn't have to reach down and catch it.
2nd and 10 for the Knights. Here's the fakes to give, and
nice.
he's around through the middle. Shelton busting tackles, and he's still on his feet. Down inside the 10-yard line for the Knight offense.
Bryant Walters, I believe, just saved a touchdown for Tecumseh Arrows there. Blake Shelton just going up the middle.
That's right. I mean, you gotta be willing to run that sometimes.
Yeah, that was great running play. I think he's coming out of the game now. I think we might get a wildcat formation here.
Shane Baldwin going into the huddle.
Yep, he's going to be calling the play. Yep, he's going to be a wildcat formation, it looks like, coming out of here. Well, they're on the 8-yard line, 1st and goal. No clock is not a worry now.
Shane Baldwin in wildcat.
Wow, they're spreading it out.
3:26 left to go in the half. Direct snap to him. He fakes inside. He runs outside of a tackler. And down about the 2-yard line maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be close. I don't see how he didn't get in. I want to see this replay. He gets the ball. It looks like he's going to fake that D end out. Nice move there. Yep, Cameron Moore, I mean, slipping through some tackles, but gets held up right there. But I believe number 2, Kyle Terrell, and just gets sticked. Unfortunately, he didn't. I thought he was going to get it, but that was a good play by Kyle Terrell there for the Arrows. And it looks like he's going to be doing it again.
Yeah, he busted that tackle attempt by Cameron Moore on that play over there.
Yep, as you can see, it's very close to that goal line. It's just basically a yard less than that away.
So here's Shane Baldwin back there.
Oh, well, yep, that's going to hurt.
It's like that penalty is going to set him back.
I'm sorry, this isn't that funny, but he looked like he got shot out of the blue. The guard just fell back, and I don't know. He just almost looked like he lost consciousness or something. But he was just like boom, right on his butt. And unfortunately, it's a 5-yard penalty when they're right next to the goal line. And oh man, couldn't ask for a worse time to be shot by an arrow, so to speak, on the goal line.
Well, the Knights looking to drive this ball across this goal line. Not worried about these arrows right now. They're worried about the Knights. Another set of flags down on the play as he scores, but more than likely it's going back.
Yep, sure is.
Against the Knights. 1:55 left to go in the half.
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob, but I believe the game we saw against Anderson, they were rolling Anderson. They were going up and down the field, and I believe miscues, just like penalties and fumbles and takeaways, were what kept Anderson so close. And by the end of the game, I mean, it was closer than, you know, what it looked like. It was a 2-point victory, but it should have been much bigger margin of victory for the Northwest Knights, honestly, because they had a lot of these in that first game against Anderson. Am I right on that?
Well, this is where the Knights, you know, they're getting their season established, you know, get the 14 campaign going here. And a W is a W no matter what at this point. The time of the year or the time of the season that they have to be watchful for is any time after Game 7. You know, they have to maintain this intensity through the whole schedule. But this is the 3rd year in a row now. They played Tecumseh. They've beaten them the other 2 games, but Tecumseh has given a better account of themselves tonight, the way it looks.
I agree with you, but they're not playing easy teams this season. I mean, even Coach Mahon was saying how they're playing one of the toughest schedules in Division II in their conference this season, and they play LaSalle, which has now been gifted, you know, a Division II title now based on their new enrollment for OSHA rules.
You just got a lot of tough teams in the neighborhood now. You look at Mount Healthy. I saw them a little bit when we was tearing down the set of that game. They got so much speed, it's a blur. And after Mount Healthy, you know, of course you got Whitten Woods, Harrison, you know. So that's what you need, though. You need to play a tough schedule.
I agree, but these mistakes and these miscues you can't have if you're going to be playing those tough schedules. You can't leave points on the board like that.
Oh, I know.
Shelton's going.
Here's Shelton faking the give, and he's running inside, but he's going to be met by the Arrow defense. He's got a little scrum, and looks like a penalty's going to be down thrown, and you know, unsportsmanlike conduct type of flag should be forthcoming for the way that Knight offensive lineman got tossed like a rag doll. That's right.
Yeah, number 76, I believe, Devin Williams for the Knights, junior, I believe was a victim of that. We'll take a look here at the replay, see what was going on.
Like number 80 was the victim when he got flung.
Oh, yeah, number 5, Connor Henry. I mean, makes a good play on the offensive end, but you can't do that. I mean, the play is a little bit over. I'm not sure if the whistle blew at that point, but that's just it's just unnecessary.
Jordan Booker, number 15 in the game for the Knights, along with number 6, Shane Baldwin. They're in here on the second down play. Well, no, I got it.
Yeah, it should have been first down based on the penalty. Yeah, the unnecessary roughness should have made it a first down. And that's what they're looking at right now.
Somebody's got to tell the guy holding the down marker from the chain gang.
He's still got 3 on there. It's okay. I think everyone else knows.
Shane Baldwin fakes a give, and he runs around there, but looks like they got him stopped short of this goal line again.
Well, they're churning the clock here, too. I mean, I said at the beginning of this possession they might have to worry about the clock. They don't have to necessarily be, you know, overwhelmed with the clock right now, but they just got to be cautious of it. I mean, with a minute left, they got second down now, right near the goal line. I'm not quite sure why it's still fourth down. I mean, the score.
This clock is running. We're down to 50 seconds. I don't know. It looks like I tried student body left on this, see if I got enough speed to beat these guys to the edge.
I wouldn't disagree with that call. It looks like that's what they're thinking. They're spreading them out, putting Shaywan back there. Here we go. Calling his blockers.
No, they're not going to get in on that.
Well, it's a big pile. I would be calling timeout if I was Northwest right now.
25 seconds, 25.3 left to go in the half.
Is that really fourth down? It was fourth down. Well, I guess they didn't take the penalty in consideration. But he gets stopped before the goal line. Clearly, there was no question about that.
The Arrows stopped him, and last year this time they would have given the ball to Jason Phillips, and he'd have ran it right through the middle.
Yeah, maybe we can get an explanation from the refs at halftime or something about what happened there, these final seconds of the fourth quarter, about that unnecessary roughness. That would have been an automatic first down, I would have thought. But be as it may, we still got 25 seconds left on the clock and a turnover on downs. And the Arrows got the ball.
Well, this is potential deep danger for the Knights. You know, they can't score. We're on the short side of the scoreboard now, 6-3.
Well, the ball is placed on the 4-yard line, and if the defense can show up here, then we could possibly get a safety, maybe a spark. I'm not sure. With 25 seconds left, you could just imagine Tecumseh is going to be running the ball here.
I imagine Tecumseh is going to be in victory formation on this play. With no miracle in Meadowlands happening. So here they come. They know they've won the first half of this game as long as they don't turn it over here.
I want to say Ty McGowan's name more. I really had aspirations coming into this game. He was going to be doing a lot, but I haven't seen him as part of many tackles. He's been doing an okay job being containment on his side of the defensive end, but I want to see more out of him. Honestly.
And that's going to be the end. The first half is going to come to an end on that kneel down play, where the score at halftime is the Tecumseh Arrows 6 and the Northwest Knights 3. And we will be right back with more after halftime on your Waycross Community Media Network.
I began producing and volunteering for Waycross when I was in the 7th grade. Since then, I have produced many programs that have won awards on the local, regional, and even national level.
Waycross Media was the ideal place for me. I just got involved in, as I say, as a hobby and continued on from there.
Anyone with a message that they want to share should come to Waycross, take the classes, and produce their own television show.
Studio A is our main studio that has the power of airing your programs live across all of Cincinnati. Studio A is equipped with 4 high-grade professional Hitachi cameras, a lighting board, along with a 900 square foot studio. With such a large studio, you can produce anything to a 1-hour talk show to a band performance. The control room was built to hold a full crew, so each person is assigned to a piece of equipment.
I walked into Waycross not knowing basically anything about running a show, a television station, anything like that at all. Just the 3 short days, what an incredible amount of information I got. The instructor was very, very knowledgeable, took the time to explain each and everything to me in great detail. The way that the class was structured, it was very, very simple to understand. It was very fast-paced, but there was so much information that I gathered so very quickly. I was able in a very, very short time, with some practice and some help from the staff at Waycross, to be able to produce my own show within 2 weeks.
If you'd like to learn how Studio A operates, Waycross has 5 workshops throughout the year where you can sign up, get certified, and produce your own TV show. Once you're certified, then you can produce a single or a series program that will reach over 37,000 viewers on a weekly basis. Contact Waycross at 825-2429.
I began producing and volunteering for Waycross when I was in the 7th grade. Since then, I have produced many programs that have won awards on the local, regional, and even national level.
Waycross Media was the ideal place for me. I just got involved in, as I say, as a hobby and continued on from there.
Anyone with a message that they want to share should come to Waycross, take the classes, and produce their own television show.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association is about sports, that's obvious. But it's more than just a competition. What we're really about is learning. Young men and young women stretching themselves in pursuit of the ideals that will guide them for a lifetime. It is an important mission, and we share it with schools, families, and communities. As Commissioner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, I look forward to working with you to help our young people build their futures.
Marching Knights are under the direction of Mr. Tecumseh and Mrs. Sarah Boys. Additional staff includes Tyler Muchmore, Devin Overmeyer, Ashley Pease, Sean Pease, Kelsey Russell, and Jason Strait. The Marching Knights' first competition of the season is next Saturday, September 13th at Doublebrook High School.
I'm Uncle Al.
And I'm Captain Wendy.
And this is Waycross Community Media. What wonderful things to see next. Watch Alakazam 1, Alakazam 2, Alakazam 3, and poof.
We don't care if your graphics aren't flashy, or if your audio doesn't sound perfect, or if you're not the world's greatest camera person. We just want to see what you want us to see, and to know what you would like us to know. Your local public access television station has tools and resources to make this possible, so that we can see what you see. It's the freedom to communicate, and it's only on cable.
only on public access.
Studio A is our main studio that has the power of airing your programs live across all of Cincinnati. Studio A is equipped with 4 high-grade professional Hitachi cameras, a lighting board, along with a 900 square foot studio. With such a large studio, you can produce anything to a 1-hour talk show to a band performance. The control room was built to hold a full crew, so each person is assigned to a piece of equipment.
I walked into Waycross not knowing basically anything about running a show, a television station, anything like that at all. Just the 3 short days, I mean, what an incredible amount of information I got. The instructor was very, very knowledgeable, took the time to explain each and everything to me in great detail. The way that the class was structured, it was very, very simple to understand. I mean, it was very fast-paced, but there was so much information that I gathered so very quickly. I was able in a very, very short time, with some practice and some help from the staff at Waycross, to be able to produce my own show within 2 weeks.
If you'd like to learn how Studio A operates, Waycross has 5 workshops throughout the year where you can sign up, get certified, and produce your own TV show. Once you're certified, then you can produce a single or a series program that will reach over 37,000 viewers on a weekly basis. Contact Waycross at 825-2429.
Welcome to the second half of tonight's action between the Northwest Knights and the Tecumseh Arrows. And it looks like the Tecumseh Arrows are leading the Knights here 6-3 at this time. It's been a real defensive struggle. And what we have here is a couple stats I'll run by you. We don't have too many stats, but I can tell you this. In total offense, the Knights have had 182 yards, whereas the Arrows have had 96. They've been penalized, 5 penalties for 25 yards for the Knights, 3 penalties for 14 yards for the Arrows. The Knights, 8 of 12 for 75 yards passing. The Arrows, 4 of 7 for 50 yards passing. Rushing, for the Knights, we had number 3, Corey McGinnis. He's got 48 yards rushing. And over here on the Tecumseh side, number 43, Cameron Moore, why he's picked up 17 yards rushing, although he lost a big chunk of his yardage in that high snap at one point there, Patrick. But other than that, Patrick, we're going to have us a real decision here in the second half. These teams are going to have to decide what they are and who they are.
You're right, Jacob, absolutely. And as you said, I think the penalties is one of the biggest statistics that you said as we got about 2 minutes left to go till kickoff. The 5 penalties by the Knights aren't a lot of penalties, but they were timely, very timely penalties that really have hurt them. And honestly, the 96 yards total for the Arrows, but they had those 96 yards on, most of those 96 yards on one drive. Corey Henry has the only score, the 4-yard touchdown run. But previous to that touchdown run, he had that very long pass play. I'm not quite sure how long it was, but it was probably close to about 40 or so yards pass play when he got the ball on the right sideline and cut across the entire field and finally got shoved out around the 15 or 10-yard line or so. But honestly, it is a defensive struggle, and we said that at the beginning of the broadcast coming into it. We weren't disappointed, obviously. We, as just a football fan, I want to see a little bit more fireworks. You know, you want to see offense, and obviously the college and pro levels have a system set up for that. We have spread offenses. You look at both teams, they like to spread their athletes out, give their athletes the ball, their playmakers in space, and let them work. It's just they need to do a better job of executing those plays. You have a good chunk of plays where they do well, but then they just let up. And, you know, there's a lot of instances where Northwest has gone on 4th down because on 3rd down and 2nd downs, they're not getting good chunks of yards. They're just getting manageable distances. But they got to start executing on those downs.
You know, Patrick, in talking to Coach Massey before the game, I overheard his discussion with the officials where, you know, his team buses got caught up in all that haywire that was going on Interstate 75 this afternoon.
Yeah.
Where they had to take the long way home to get down here, if you will. And,
yeah.
You know, a lot of frustration, a lot of concern. They didn't know at first how they were going to get around that snarl, but they're here now. Now that they're here, they're looking to make this trip well worth it. So it looks like number 7 will be stepping off into this ball, and that's Wade Maston, and here comes the second half.
Good. Better get on that ball.
Here comes Northwest picking it up at their own 25-yard line.
Let me just goes down. Very interesting.
Cortez McInnes, is that Shane Baldwin takes a knee at the Knight 30-yard line, and that's where they'll put in play.
It's very interesting. Let's see the replay here. Why he probably just went down and started sliding. I'm not quite sure why he did that. 13, Matt Crane for the Arrows was there to tackle him with maybe another individual waiting. But I don't see the need to slide there. He's not a quarterback. He doesn't need to protect himself. What's the deal there? It almost kind of looks like he's scared a little bit and gives that perception. That's not something you want to do on a football field.
I follow what your concern is on that one, Patrick. Well, here come the Knights back to put it in gear. Here's Shelton with the snap, and he gives to McGinnis, but the Arrow defense has stuffed him there. No gain on the play.
There's a flag. Looks like unsportsmanlike conduct.
Flag on the play here. Sportsmanlike on the night.
Yep, unreal. Like we said at the beginning, the penalties are hurting, and we're just going to give this tackle primarily to number 59, Seth Martin. As we talked about, high aspirations for him. He's the one that made the first contact, made that play stop, but we'll give a majority of the tackle to that team as well. Seth Martin, you'll get a tackle, and it looks like, was that a tackle for loss maybe? Maybe so, but anyway, regardless, we're second and forever here for Northwest. Not the way you want to start out the second half.
No, Northwest is going to have to get some urgency in this situation here. Guys are going to have to step up. And here's the direct snap. Ball strolled deep over their left sideline, but incomplete over ahead of number 81 for the Knights there, and that's Malik Beverly.
Yeah, honestly, number 81 for the Knights, I think it was DJ Granville, Jacob, for the Knights. He's a junior, 6 foot, 195 tight end. He's a big target, just like Hayes Carmuth was. And honestly, just overthrew him. He could have been open, a good ball, the perfect pass. There's no defense for, so I credit Trent Dilfer with that little piece of knowledge. Again, we're spreading it out here.
Shelton back here, pistol, throwing deep over the middle, and that ball is incomplete. Looking to hook up with number 25, Devontae Jackson.
Yeah, in the first half, Devon Jackson was the recipient of many passes and drops, to his credit as well. But when you're in first or second and forever, and you got to start passing the ball, the runs aren't going to get you 25 yards on 2 downs.
So the Knights are going to have to punt on this 4th down and 25. Got the snap, and the kick is up. Ball's caught, but he's going to be down as he catches it at the Knight 43-yard line, 42-yard line.
Yeah, Kyle Terrell on the catch there, and it was a line drive punt. It gives them great field position, the Arrows does, to make something happen here.
Okay, so this is the Knights' first time on defense in the second half. And this is where somebody on defense is going to have to slow down this Arrow attack.
Let's see if Cameron Moore comes back out, and he is.
And there he is. Looks like he's out there with number 15, Brody Martin. Give it to Martin. He breaks a tackle by Ty McGowan. He ran right out of Ty McGowan's tackle attempt on this.
Yeah, here the replay. Brody Martin is great job by the offensive lineman there. Cortez McGinnis barely hanging onto his jersey, saving some yards after the catch there as we got a penalty of what's looking like a false start. Oh, no, on the defense.
So the Arrows able to get the Knight defense confused where they're going to suffer this offside penalty.
The defender must have hit somebody unless they wouldn't have called that. The defender's allowed to go past the line of scrimmage and then come back.
As long as they don't make contact.
Exactly. So I'm not sure if they did or not. I'm guessing they did since they called it.
Ball on the 29-yard line.
To keep it.
Looks like he's busting through a lot of tacklers on the Knight defense, and they'll get him down after he picks up about 7.
Yeah, I really like this play call. With the size of Cameron Moore as a linebacker, you got a good fullback run through to and a big quarterback. Number 55 for the Knights, Dominic Smith making the tackle. He's a 215 guy size. He's a senior, 5'9". He's going to have a lot of meat to bring him down, but I like that play call.
Here's the give inside to number 15 on that, and he muscles his way in there for a positive yardage, about 2-3 yard gain.
Yeah, the sophomore here is making his due. He's going to be coming out of the game now, but he's really getting some time to see what he can do. As a sophomore, you can't ask for anything more than that, and they're making a living up the middle right now in Northwest defense.
It's like Tyler Pruitt in the game now for the Arrows, number 4. Senior, 5'9", 180-pounder. He's in motion. Give. And the Knight defense is there. Putting a stop to that run. Number 5, Connor Henry.
Yeah, Connor Henry is getting back in the backfield now, not as a receiver catching the ball, but in the backfield following his blocks. Unfortunately, Shane Baldwin there is making the first initial contact, and the other Knights come and make a good stop. It's going to be a big down here, 4th and 1. Let's see if they can convert.
4th and 1, under center to turn and give, and he runs around right in, and he's going to make the first down, but there is a flag on the play.
Nice athletic play, though. You give a lot of credit to Connor Henry, I believe, who had the ball on that.
Well, it looks like they're going to march his flag off against the Arrows.
Ooh.
Holding against Tecumseh.
Yeah, that's a tough call. That's a tough break. 4th and 1, and now it's going to be 4th and 11. I don't know. The ball's on about the 29, 30-yard line. They're going to go for it.
They're still going.
We'll see what happens. There's going to be, it's a trick, and he's wide open.
Wide open, and it looks like the Arrows got this ball complete. They're down near Northwest goal line. No signal yet, but this is...
That's heartbreaking for the defense. You're just thinking you're in a perfect situation. Connor Henry gets the ball thinking it's a run, so all the defense just shifts over to the right side of the field. Matt Crane, is on the receiving end of that football, and unfortunately for the Northwest, they were not ready for that. Oh man, that's heartbreaking. You'd feel for him because you just got a penalty. You just, thinking like, oh good, that we just let him get a first down, and
here they are going for 2 now after this touchdown.
Snap.
And
it's a jump pass,
and that ball is completed.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
And the Tecumseh Arrows come up with a 2-point conversion to put salt in the wound on the Knight defense here.
Not necessarily know if this was intended to be a jump pass. I think he just did it because he felt like it, and maybe he thought it was going to be effective, and it was. Connor Henry on the receiving end this time, but not the throwing end of the score. Well, it was, a bold move to go for 2. You never usually go for 2 unless you really have to. And it paid off. Now they're on a 14-3 score, and it's looking good for Tecumseh. Northwest better get its head together and start scoring some points here in the second half and stop beating themselves if they want to get back in this game.
That's right, Patrick. It looks like Tecumseh Arrows are showing the ability to have different playmakers. It's giving the Knight defense more to think about when you got these other guys. You got Crane, number 13, carrying the load for him. Number 5, Connor Henry. Number 15, Brody Martin, along with number 43, Cameron Moore. So got things for this Northwest defense to think about now.
Honestly, just looking on the sidelines for Northwest, their defense is not happy. People throwing their helmets on the ground in disgust, hitting other players, and they're getting upset. It's not a happy sideline. I mean, and right so. They should not be happy about their performance.
Maybe they can get a good return on this kick. Here's Shane Baldwin with the ball, and he runs around one tackler, and he runs around here, left in, and he picks up good yardage. The ball's going to be put in play at the Northwest 37-yard line here.
And honestly, this is a good return. And I don't know why this didn't happen the first time and you just slid. This is the confidence builder. You know, even though you didn't get many yards, you got 10 or so yards, and we could, you know, this is a confidence builder going forward, because even though he didn't get a whole lot of yards, he still thought that it wasn't a slide down, and you know, he wasn't scared, and now it's going to get your team more involved, get your team more excited to make a play on the offensive side.
Okay, so here's the Northwest offense, 1st and 10. He's got Devontae Jackson in the backfield with him. Trips right. Here's Sheldon with the ball, and he gives to Jackson through the middle, and he busting tackles near 1st down yardage.
Nice job. Offensive line making it happen now, just like the Tecumseh offensive line was doing up the gut for the Northwest. They're going to give them a little taste of their own medicine. Number 50, I believe that was the center for them. Joey Lynn, senior 6'1", 200 pounds up front there. It could also be number 60, I couldn't tell.
Here's the snap, Shelton back looking to throw. He's completed to Jackson. He turns around left in, breaks a couple tackles, and he's got yardage into Arrow territory at their 37-yard line.
Yeah, brought down by Ryan Sirecki, 6'1", senior, 160 pounds, and this is a great run. This is honestly something they needed to give them more confidence in going down the sideline. For whatever reason, the sidelines have been their key. You know, whether it be returns or plays, you know, they've had a couple plays over the middle that Devon Jackson has had over the middle. But other than that, it's been sidelines, and maybe they should stick to that. You know, to spread it out, you know, get the stretch offense moving.
We got to figure out why this flag is out now. Looks like it's going to put the kibosh to that nice play by the Knights. Officials are talking to number 43 for the Arrows, Cameron Moore, about what he wants to do here.
Face mask.
Face mask by the Knights is declined, and we're going to take ineligible down.
On the defense?
Either way, this play is going back. They're going to take the ineligible downfield. And
that's interesting. Interesting calls there. If they're on opposing teams, they would have been offsetting. Clearly, I think it was just on one team, because they wouldn't have marked it back.
Comes the Arrows leading this game 14-3 with 7:58 left to go in the third quarter.
Now he's making it 2nd down. The spot stick was wrong.
Shelton turns and gives to Jackson, and he muscles in there close to 1st down yardage.
If it broke, don't fix it, you know?
That's right.
It ain't broke. Keep going up the middle. Keep having your offensive line. You like that double team there by the Garden Center, number 76. Let's give him some credit. Devin Williams for the Knights at junior. I like the way he's double teaming that defensive lineman and getting up to the 2nd level. Offensive lineman needs some credit too.
Looks like officials got the chain gang moving. Once they made up their mind, that's where they had to go.
Yeah, so it is number 60 at center, Justin Burnquist.
Justin Berquist has started at center now for the Knights for 3 years. Solid performer. Always gives good snaps in that shotgun. I don't think I've seen him make a bad snap.
Don't jinx him.
Right in there, there's the give. Muscles his way for short yardage. 7:15 left to go. The Knights are going to have to get this thing moving in a hurry. They're down by 14-3 score.
Yeah.
They need 2 touchdowns.
I like Devon's run here. He just bowled over number 9, Brian Walters, and really lowered his pads. And when you go up the middle, you got to have that confidence to get those pads lowered, get those shoulders behind you, and just really just drive into that person. You know, because you got to keep those legs turned. I really liked that type of run, even though it was only for about 2 or 3 yards. I'll take it, and I like that confidence. And you know, a running back's gonna he wants the ball again, doing the same thing.
Devon Jackson fakes the gift to him. He's dropping. Pass, throws over the middle, ball's tipped and falls incomplete. Host of defenders in the vicinity of that ball when it hit the ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is the right decision by Shelton. He had Hayes Caruth. I mean, 81. I mean, he's thrown clearly behind him, and if DJ Granville makes that catch, obviously he's gonna get some yards, and he was open, but Hayes Caruth was shaking his hand, going up the seam on this right behind 81. He was wide open, so he might have just hold on the ball a little bit further, a little bit more time, and would have got a better play out of it.
3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Ball's tipped, incomplete.
Looking for a flag.
No flag. That was clean defense. The Tecumseh defenders had that play sniffed out, and it wasn't going to let anything go wrong after that. So now the Knights are going to have to punt, and they're going to have to figure out a way to turn this punt possibly into their advantage. Alex Shivik waiting for the snap, and he's got it, and he sticks his foot into it, and that's going to be over the head of the return guy.
Yeah.
Not Alex Shivik, that's number 78 punting that ball. Jeff Kasmerick.
I'm not quite on board with that decision by the Arrows returner. He probably should have caught that ball, at least fair catched it, and saved the 10 yards. It was not that far back towards the goal line. Like, you know, they usually say you put your heels on the 10-yard line, and if the ball is over your head, then you let it go because it's going to be a touchback. But he was nowhere close to the 10-yard line. In fact, he was closer to the 20-yard line, maybe even further up than that. And the ball barely went over his head and hit around the 15-yard line and rolled down to the 10-yard line or so. I mean,
6:22 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Arrows with the ball. Through the middle, a nice pickup for the Arrows on that first down. Looks like they got about 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, here we go. Brody Martin shooting out of the bow just like an arrow. Getting that acceleration up the middle. Breaking tackles. I want to say Ty McGowan's name more often. I mentioned that right before the break, the halftime. Let's see if he can make a play here. Number 1.
This ball's a high snap. Unfortunately, Moore is able to come up with it and muscle his way for what he can get. It could have been disaster, though, if he wasn't able to jump up and get that one.
Yeah. Michael Smith and Brandon Sean for the Knights making a good heads-up play, getting the tackle on the quarterback and not making him make a play out of something that should have been disastrous for the Arrows.
So here the Arrows are, 3rd and 6. This is where the Knight defense is going to have to rise up. Brandon Schoen, he's in there, number 11, usually protects and defends well for the Knights.
All right, defense, this is time. You're right, Jacob. They got to make a stop here. They got to get a punt.
Timeout being called by Tecumseh.
Well, Tecumseh, they got Cameron Moore at the helm still. You have to think that if he's going to keep playing both ways, like we mentioned in the first half, he's going to be tired. That could be an advantage Northwest if they don't keep shooting themselves in the foot. And a stop here would be a great help for that.
You know, once again at this time, I'd like to remind all our viewers out there, anyone wants to volunteer their efforts, their time, donate some of this to the high school sports around here, help Waycross Media bring you these games every week. The number is 513-825-2429. What you could do when you volunteer is you could feel a sense of accomplishment, fight crime, feel appreciated, and develop new skills. All these things you can do by volunteering at Waycross Media and helping our high school children. Okay, so here's the play again. 3rd and 6 for the Arrows. Fork in the road or stick a fork in them, and that one there is complete. The Knight defense is not going to be able to stop him. That's going to be a first down. They're going to keep these chains moving.
Yeah, that's a simple pitch and catch. I mean, as long as he's on target with that, and he barely was, he had to go up the ladder a little bit and catch that football, but he was wide open, and they spread him out. Usually they run it on those types of plays, but on 3rd down and, you know, medium yardage, they came through.
Here's the snap. Moore keeps it, pulls out his guy's gut, but this time he stopped James Dean for the Knights, number 5.
The Knights need to get more pressure up the middle. Their defensive line is not getting enough pressure where they're impacting the quarterback's decision enough. They need to get more contained. And like I said, Ty McCowan, he's right there. He's on your side. He's making pressure. There he goes.
Muscling his way. All kind of hats in him, though. And that's going to be a short game.
See, there's number 11 shooting through the gap, getting blocked a little bit. But a gang tackle there by Northwest. And I mean, this is something that defensive line is going to have to start stepping up here. I know they might be getting a little exhausted. They've been on the field a lot already in the first this 3rd quarter here, but they gotta bow back a little bit and make a stop.
3rd and 7. Here's Moore rolling left, rolling. Ball's complete, but Knight defenders are there.
Yeah, they got a punt now. The way Connor Henry looks at this, I mean, it's a good execution of the ball, a good catch use of the pass and receiving end, but you got to act like Connor Henry's going to make a play there and break a tackle or so and get to the sticks. Otherwise, you got to go to a different receiver that's near the yard marker.
So it looks like about 4th and 3 here. And Arrows in punting formation. Again, the Knights got to do more than just not shoot themselves in the foot. They got to put the hammer down here.
Shane Baldwin just came off the field. Dion Goins just replaced him to go back there with Cortez McGinnis to receive this punt. I wonder what's going on with them.
Kick is up. McGinnis chasing it down, and he's not going to be able to catch it, and it rolls out of bounds near sideline at, looks like the 30-yard line of the Knights. So they'll set up shop on their own 30. 3 minutes, 7 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, something that has been a pretty decent trend throughout this game has been good field position. There's been a couple of drives where they've been backed up against their goal lines, but not very much. And you should be able to take advantage of this field position. I mean, this is a gift. When you get field position on the 30-yard line or more, I mean, granted, it's the 30-yard line, you got to go 70 yards, but most of the time, it's not the 30-yard line. It's past the 30-yard line. We're getting setting up shop at like for 40 or even the midfield even a number of times. So they really got to start taking advantage of this. And even if they don't get a lot here, maybe they can shift field position and get them backed up, and maybe their defense could do something. But their offense, they have to respond here. And Shane Baldwin's going to get the direct snap, it looks like.
Shane Baldwin back there, getting his direct snap. Got Jackson in motion. Give it to Jackson. He's around left in, breaks the tackle, and he gets the first down yardage for the Knights.
They need to keep feeding this guy. They just need to keep feeding him because it's working. I mean, if those blocks on the outside by number 10, Jamarco Lewis, if he's making those blocks and they're executing that's money every time. There's going to be 10 yards up and down the field. I mean, give the Wildcat. Start doing that every play. We don't need a quarterback. Stop throwing the ball. I mean, you got to get points, and you got to get them now. I mean, it's going to be 2:45 now for the 3rd quarter. They need points. They need to get yardage.
And they need to make sure they don't get penalized on their next big play. Here comes Baldwin running in there. Looks like he's going to pick up about 3 yards.
Yeah, this time he's faking it with Jamarco Lewis, and he kind of gives him a little push. He's like, you know, you got to get past me. You know, I'm not going to give you the ball. You need to get out of my way, sir. So he gives him a little nudge on the backside there, and he picks up a 3-yard gain or so. But this is what they need to continue to do. They need to continue to stretch the field east and west. And when they start doing that, then they're going to start spreading out their defense. And when they do that, they hit it up the middle, and you get Brendan Shelton in there. I want to keep calling him a country artist. And then you hit him up the middle.
Okay, so here we go. 2nd and 6 for the Knights. Straight snap.
There it is.
Muscling his way in there. Close to first down yardage for the Knights.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen this. I can't see his number, but it looks like he's got fresh legs.
That's Devon Jackson on that carry.
Wow, it was? Well, he's looking good. Keep him giving the ball. Keep feeding that man. They just are very, very close. Looks like they probably should have measured that, honestly, to move the sticks.
Really, they should have.
Yeah.
That looked first down.
It looks, you know, we're sitting right here in front of, we're aligned perfectly to this. And it looks like a first down to me, and we're playing on 3rd.
In motion is Jackson. He gets the give, and they're all over him in the backfield. And they're going to have him down for a 2-3 yard loss here.
See, this is exactly what I was saying to you. This is if Jamarco Lewis, number 10, makes this block and executes his block, he's up the field. I mean, this should be working every time. You should be not yelling at Devon Jackson. You should be yelling at number 10 because he's letting him in the backfield.
Yeah, block could have been thrown. You're right.
And let's give Northwest a little credit here. I think they got gypped by the officials. I hate to keep coming back to that point, but it almost looked like it was a first down. We just got told by the truck that it wasn't a first down, so our angle might have been a little
down. Here's
different.
Shelton throwing the ball and over everybody's head. No flag. So the Arrows will take over on downs here. So the Northwest defense, 25.1 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter here. This wasn't what Northwest had in mind, although I'll tell you, talking to Coach Massey before the game, he knew that a lot of what his team was going to need to do was adjust to the speed of Northwest. And evidently they have.
Yep, they have adjusted. But honestly, they're shooting themselves in the foot as they always do. They're not committing blocks. They're getting penalties. They're putting themselves in bad positions. And when you do that, you're not going to put yourself up for success.
Flag on the play.
He's counting men here. Oh, he picks it up. Guess he miscounted. He was counting guys.
Fakes to give. Crane runs around left in, but he's met by number 55 of the Knights there. That's Dominic Smith.
Yeah, senior 5'9", 215 roller coaster there. You ain't got to stop him. And he's pounding his chest. I mean, that's the excitement they need. They need to get pumped up. They need something to give them some confidence to get on that field and make sure they get a 3 and out here so their offense can come and do something. With the 3rd quarter coming to an end here, they need some type of excitement being down 11 points.
So at the end of the 3rd quarter here with Waycross Media OHSAA Network, we have a score of the Tecumseh Arrows 14 and your Northwest Knights 3. Just got to come up with something. The officials are in the middle of the field discussing things. So far, they've had a pretty smooth game. I think quite a few fans from Tecumseh coming down here from North got caught up in that, that traffic situation was on I-75.
Yeah, unfortunately we had a bad accident on 75 here in Cincinnati, making it pretty tough for people up north coming down from New Carlisle, but they are well represented, like you said, in the stands.
So here comes Tecumseh. They got man in motion. Here's Crane with the snap, and he's running around right in, but there's no room for him, and they drive him out of bounds, making him lose about 4 or 5 yards on the carry.
Yeah, it looks like Peyton Brown was part of that group tackle as well. 11 making a play. That's Brandon Schoen. He's making a bunch of plays as that middle linebacker position. That's what they need. They need this right now. They need to get off the field, third down and forever for the Arrows. They need to make a stop here and not shoot themselves in the foot. Don't get a defensive penalty. Don't get unsportsmanlike conduct. Don't get offsides. And just do your due diligence here.
And the Arrows, I guess they're going to throw, but they're doing a favor by throwing.
Well, there's penalties.
Flags on the play. We'll have to see. That could be ending up on Northwest the way them flags went down. We'll have to see. We got reports saying the receiver was...
Oh, man. Shooting themselves in the foot again, Jacob. What are we going to do?
A lot of bad body language out there now on the Northwest defense.
We're taking a look at the replay here. I think that's pretty good technique. I'm not gonna lie. He was step in step with him, unless there was some contact before the ball was thrown.
Before that, because
yeah, let's take a look here. Well, they're jostling a little bit. They're 5 yards, which is allowed. He's step in step, turns his head back. Great technique there. Looking for the ball, playing the ball. He's definitely outsized by the receiver. So if he caught the ball, it wouldn't have been outside the realm of a possibility to make that catch. But I think the defender did a pretty good job for the circumstances.
11-11 left to go in the game here. Crane takes it himself, muscles in there for about a stubborn yard. Looks like we got extracurriculars, Northwest defense, thinking they recovered a fumble, which they didn't according to the officials.
Yeah. Michael Smith, the Knights number 58, is upset about something. He's getting either pumped up or ready to go. And there's a group tackle there. Maybe they thought it was a little extracurricular. And that guy, you see, I don't know if he's jumping for the ball there or if he's just jumping on the pile.
2nd and 9. Arrows switching up different people at quarterback now. That's what I mean. They're giving the Knight defense much more to think about.
Yeah, the 4-1 set they got here, they usually pass.
Here comes Schoen on the blitz, but he gets there. Brandon Schoen busts around there wide and curls back in, makes a stop.
A number of high snaps for the Arrows that make Cameron Moore's night, he's getting his high jumps in for the track and field competition he's gonna be in tomorrow. He's gonna be tired, but no, honestly, when you get those high snaps, it's hard to go upfield very quickly and start getting your feet underneath because the defense has already got a step on you.
There's more. Drop straight back. He's got all kind of time. He lets it fly, and it's deep down the sideline. Ooh. Incomplete. Northwest defender Shane Baldwin in the neighborhood. Proud of himself making that play.
He should be, because it was a catchable ball if he kept going. He was asking for it. The receiver puts his hand up. If you can see it right here, just right there at the end of your screen. Cameron Moore sees it, and he gives him a shot, but the ball is coming down, and he gives him a lick. That's respectable. That's what a player plays for. He wants to get in the action, get some excitement. He's got his hands on his hips right now, but it looks like he's pretty tired.
4th and 8. Looks like the Arrows are going to punt. Northwest Knights have to execute reception and hopefully return on this, but ball's going to go out of bounds. Yep. Looks like it's going to be near the 5-10 yard line somewhere down there.
Yeah, it's a good punt. Anytime you get it within the 10 or 5 yard line, to back up the other team, that's always a win for the special teams.
Tecumseh Arrows, of course, I covered their games a couple years when they were playing against Winton Woods in the playoffs, and this is the first time I've seen them play since about that 09 season, but they're giving a good account of themselves.
They sure are. Their record, they just came away with a narrow victory last week, but they're showing against a good Northwest team that they're there to be reckoned with.
That's right. So that give is carried in through the middle by Northwest.
The Wildcat set is now non-existent this series, it looks like. Shelton's back at quarterback.
Man in motion, Sheldon gives Devontae Jackson around right in. He's going to outrun quite a few people.
Nice block.
Runs through that gap, and then
got to go.
Anyone's going to catch him on this. He's still running. Everybody's in the dust. Malfunction junction. There must be 50 ways to lead them guys in the dust for that guy.
Wow, that's a 93-yard touchdown run by Devon Jackson, and he got some help. He really did. Let's take a look at this. The spread, I've been saying all along they should be keep going. Yeah, well, that's the initial block by McGinnis, but look at this one. I mean, you didn't see it too much, but number 3, Corey McGinnis makes a great block on some DBs to spring him, and his speed does the rest. When he gets that truck moving, that truck ain't going to be stopped.
That's right. That's what the Knights needed to wake them out of this slumber.
Yeah.
With 8:54 left to go in this game, I guess they're going to go for 2-point conversion here.
They need to. One's not going to help them.
That's right. So, going to have to see what the Knights come up with out of their playbook on this 2-point conversion attempt.
Well, if it's anything like Tecumseh, maybe they'll get a jump pass.
So here's Sheldon back there. He kicks Jackson in motion. He throws, and
Nope.
that pass is blocked. So the Arrow defense stiffens and refuses to allow that 2-point conversion. So with 8:54 left to go in the game, we have a score of Tecumseh 14 and the Knights 9.
And Jacob, we could probably say that this, if we were looking in the future, this was coming because the defense got a good stop. We were just talking about that they needed a stop. They got the 3 and out. I'm not sure if it was a 3 and out or not, but it was close. They got a good stop on their field position. They were backed up, but unfortunately this 93-yard touchdown run gave them the energy. I think they were excited to come out here. The defense was coming off the field. They were pumped up. Look at him. He's excited to get him. He's racing. He's a horse. He's getting out there. He's just trucking it. He's trucking it. No one's gonna stop him. He's loving it. I love it. See, this is the type of excitement that you see with the defense coming off, getting excited, getting a good stop, and then your offense taking advantage of that avidity, because that's how they're going to get on a roll. That's how they're going to get a rhythm here. And their defense, I bet you, is going to come out and put a good performance up and maybe even get a 3 and out again.
Alex Shivik kicks it deep. In over in, it's pulled in by the Arrows up to the 20-yard line. Looks like Knight defenders are all over him at the Arrow 27-yard line.
Yeah, and you see just coming out, number 5, James Dean, and number 58, Michael Smith from the defense are pumped up right now. I mean, they got a good stop here on this kickoff return. They didn't get many yards. Granted, we've just been talking about the field position has been pretty decent throughout the night. This is back on the 28-yard line. This hasn't been on the 30-yard line like we said. That's a great stop. And you see Ty McGowan, he's having fun out there on the field right now. I mean, look at this. I mean, 55, he's pumped up. Dominique Smith is having fun right now. You can see these kids are getting some excitement. They're getting some enthusiasm. They're loving playing football right now.
Here comes Tecumseh. They're probably going to have to run this ball. Looks like the ball snapped high and flags down.
Yep. Look at that. So everyone's going to the ball, too. I'm feeling a momentum shift. I really am.
So with that false start, Tecumseh's going to move back. And 5 yards. It's just that the Knight defense is going to have to deputize themselves in order to make something go right for them on this takeaway, something right now. They're showing looking to blitz again, and
all right,
they got him in the backfield.
That's right. Michael Smith. He was pumped up. Look at him. He's having fun. This is what football is about at the high school level, Jacob. I'm serious. This is fun to start watching now. I mean, you don't have to be making big plays like this, but when they are, it's having fun. I mean, they could be, it was stale. They were lackadaisical. A little bit too anxious here, maybe.
Well, that was a 2nd and 22. 8:23 left to go in the game.
Yeah, he got a little too fiery. Blood pumping a little bit too much for Julian Daniels. Got to calm the nerves a little bit. After a good play and a penalty, they had a lot of fire in them. There's too much. You gotta tailor it a little bit.
This is the old keep everything in front of you situation now for the Knight defense. Back to pass for the Arrows. Ball's thrown away. Thrown over to the fourth lane of the track.
Looking for intentional grounding here.
Yeah, they will be asking for that intentional grounding. Coach Nate Mahan.
They're going to talk about it.
They got to calm Coach Mahan down. And
they throw something.
They finally threw something, but now you don't know why.
Yeah. We'll see if he calls unsportsmanlike or... Nope, they throw intentional.
All right.
Wow. I'm not sure he needed convincing for that, though. I mean...
Yeah, he needed to make sure, and Coach Mahan, was helping remind him.
Yeah. Well, he looks like he could have been in the pocket there for sure.
Yeah, he was in the pocket.
Yep. That's wow, 3rd and 31 now. This is the excitement of the defense that can really change the momentum. Like I said, they're getting pumped up now. The sideline, their coaches, they're all excited.
8:06 left to go in the game, and 3rd and 31.
If I'm Northwest defense right now, the defensive coordinator, I'm suggesting a blitz. I'm saying 31, go after him. You got the ball way backed up. What is it spotted at? The 8-yard line? Yeah, the 8-yard line is spotted at. Put your ears back and blitz like 6 or 7 people. Bring the house even.
You're right, because this way they'll have practically a score. Here comes Brandon Schoen. No.
Yeah, if I'm Shane Baldwin, I want a blitz here.
Shane Baldwin, look at the play. They're looking at throw. No, he fakes it. Throw.
Nice
They're all over him.
Nice
He'll be stuffed.
Wow.
Brandon Schoen put a hat on him, along with a few other Knight defenders.
That's exciting. Wow.
4th and 33.
Wow. Michael Smith was in there too.
Nice defense. This is where the Knight defense comes at you in waves.
This is huge. I mean, they're backed up. He doesn't have much room to punt too. I'd come after this punt.
And he doesn't look too nimble either, so we'll see what happens.
Oh.
He gets that kick off. Decent kick. Cortez McGinnis watching it roll, and it's going to lay up at the Arrow 46-yard line.
Yeah, as much as backed up as Tecumseh was there, that's a win for them. That's a huge win because
I agree.
They could have had the ball like on their 20-yard line. I mean, he was backed up way back in the kicking from the very far end of it, and that's a huge field possession change.
You're right. You're right, Patrick, because they should have jailbreak that guy and just let that kick go wherever it wanted to if he got it off.
Yeah, not sure why. They had 2 people back, and honestly, he should have even caught the ball. If you're going to have 2 people back, you need to catch the ball. That's a safe punt return formation.
Well, here comes the Knight offense with 7:20 left to go in the game. Trips right. Here's Sheldon back throwing.
That's not good.
Ball's intercepted, and
wow.
It's like the Knight offense. It's his ball intercepted, going to the well with Devontae Jackson.
Yeah.
One time too many. And like I said, he was basically the only guy that the Knight's been throwing to all night. And at the key time in the game, the Arrow defense looked for him, and that's what they come up with.
Yep, Stephen Marker, number 55, senior for their Arrows. 5'10", 165 made that interception, and Shelton saved a touchdown.
That's right. Because now, if you're the Arrows, you just run this ball. You don't even throw any type of pass. You just run.
And now they're under center.
There's Crane. He gives to number 5 inside handoff. Connor Henry muscles his way for about 3-yard gain. Got an injury on the field. Looks like number 55 for the Knights.
That's not good.
Dominic Smith.
Yeah, Cortez McGinnis is not looking good either. He's got a limp to him. That'd be 2 big blows to their defense.
7:03 left to go in the game as we check out these injuries.
Wow, that would be two big blows. Tom McGowan looks like he's spent too. Hopefully he's okay. It looked like they're just stretching him out a little bit. Maybe he's got some cramps. Fourth quarter, he shouldn't be having cramps now, but you just never know.
I don't think this is cramps. But the Knights, they can put a stop here somehow. Get this ball back. They still got a chance.
Yeah, they're within a touchdown. I mean, a touchdown's going to win it. Unfortunately, it's not a field goal, but you see all the Knights on the sideline on one knee. Maybe they know something we don't, and this is a pretty serious injury.
Well, it's just as well that they have to get a touchdown anyway. I'd rather see them driving. Hey, we're driving for a touchdown. When these people in these games drive to get in field goal position, a lot of times it don't work out.
Yeah.
Because the guy comes out there with his toe. Here, Ray Lewis will tell you about that 1 year.
There he goes. He's up on his feet. That's a good sign. You don't want to see a senior go down his last year. Dominic Smith has been all over the field today. He's been making plays. He's been excited in the last few series. He's been a leader for this defense, and I hope he just kind of shakes it off. He looks in a considerable amount of pain. He's getting some help with the trainer just walking off. He's got a smile on his face, though, it looks like.
Well, here we go with the Tecumseh 2nd and 7. Ball on the Knight 32-yard line. Cameron Moore. Well, looks like he's back there in the I formation. Crane gets the snap under center. He turns and gives to number 5, and he's around right in for a big gain. It looks like it's going to be a first down for the Arrows.
It's going to be close. It gets a lot like what Northwest should be doing, stretching the field east and west, getting playmakers the ball, and Connor Henry's been a playmaker today.
And Connor Henry moves the chains.
Well, now you're within possible high school field goal range here. 23-yard line. I mean, it would be a 37-yard field goal from here. I would think get a couple more yards. It's possible that they could even get a field goal here and stretch the lead to 8 points.
Wade Maston out here split far left.
Oh, look at that crouch.
Give Connor Henry in there, and he twists for about a yard gain, and Brandon Schoen making a stop.
Look at this crouch. If we can see the replay for Matt Crane, it's he's getting his butt real close to that ground. If he lifts his butt up a little bit, I don't know. Like if he gets a snap and that butt's on the ground, that could be considered as being down.
Well, he'll get some giddy up once he gets that ball.
Yeah, let's look at this crouch. Look how close. I mean, clearly there's some space on there, but that's a very low crouch. I mean, he's making a squat right there.
Pitch, and the Knight defense jumps all over him on that pitch.
Yeah, bringing up third down. This is going to be huge, Jacob, if they can get a stop here on third down.
Brandon Schoen on that stop. Northwest calling timeouts, 5:25 left to go in this game.
If for whatever reason, if they get a penalty or they get a first down here, it's going to be pretty close to a game over for Northwest because they still got their timeouts left. So they can still stop the clock. So let's not say it's over by any means. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's highly likely that it comes to the way that they're moving, on offense right now. They could put this lead to 8 if they get a first down and move the chains closer to the goal line here and get a field goal. This is not a position right now this has got to be your last defensive play for Northwest.
That's right. You got to get off the field with this. And if possible, if you can force a turnover, shorten this field, because the way the Knights been playing ball tonight, they don't seem to have the propensity to drive the whole length of the field. So we'll see what happens here. Under center, he's rolling to his left. He's hit as he releases, and that ball is incomplete. Cameron Moore trying to do everything he can for the Arrows.
Well, they did him a favor a little bit by not running the ball and running the clock out here.
That's right.
It gives them a timeout that they just used to stop the clock. And I don't know if they're going to go for it or kick a field. It looks like they're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it.
I would try for the field goal. Yeah,
so they'll disdain the 40-yard field goal attempt. And watch that jump ball from before now. They're on him, but he throws over the middle, and that ball is incomplete.
So
he almost tipped it to himself and caught it off that. And that would have been a backbreaker if he would have been able to sustain that catch.
It was so close. He tips it. He should have caught it. He got both hands on it, just right out of his paws. And then the defender didn't hit him. The defender, I can't see his number. It looks like it could have been Shane Baldwin. Didn't hit the receiver. He was going for the ball as well. And he completely whipped on the ball, unfortunately. And if he hit the receiver, there would have been no way he could have had a second attempt at it. But luckily for the Knights, they're going to get a turnover on downs here. And with 5:16 left to go, they need to make something happen on this drive most likely, or else they're not going to have another shot at it.
Yeah, this is a fork in the road or stick a fork in him drive here. The give is to Jackson, but he's going to be caught in the backfield by the Arrow defender. Who is that? Number 5 catching Jackson in the backfield there.
Connor Henry.
Connor Henry.
Yeah, playing both sides of the ball just like Cameron Moore is. He's not tired. What's that about? Number 81 also on the pursuit there as well. There's a lot of players. There's 2 big players for the Arrows playing both sides of the ball, really contributing.
Let's see what we come up with. 4:40 left to go in the game. Dropping back, looking to throw deep over the middle. They're rushing him, and he's going to be sacked.
Fumble. They got recovered, though.
Northwest is giving up a sack on that play.
Oh, man, he's looking downfield. He's got a lot amount of time to step up and make a good throw here. He's got to make a decision, pumps it, and just gets, and then there's where he loses the ball. And luckily, the guy that missed the block that sacked him fell right on top of it.
3rd down, 16 to go.
They got to do something different here. They got to do something different. They can't go to Devon over the middle like they have been.
No, because they're waiting for it.
They are. And they can't do the stretch play either. They got trips to the left here.
Well, it's going to be 4th-down territory for them, I'm guessing.
Oh, there's a
flag on the play. This might save Northwest here if it's against the Arrows. And the Northwest is clapping like it is against the Arrows.
Yep. Well, they get another breath of life. Maybe it's just a little karma because Northwest has been giving it to Tecumseh all game, and Tecumseh finally gets a penalty on their side to give them some yardage. So we'll see if Northwest can take advantage. They really need to do something differently. I can't stress how much they need to get another passing play in there, another type of run play. You know, the way that Tecumseh got that touchdown was on a trick play.
Yep.
They got to do something different. And I'm not saying it's got to be a trick play, but it's got to be something where they put slants and a deep out route or give them thinking. I mean, they got man-on-man coverage, so if their receivers can get open, they can make a play.
3rd and 2. There's the give. He's hitting the backfield, but he breaks that tackle, and he's going to be up to the 38-yard line of the Knights where the chains are going to move. 1st down.
Yeah, Jamarca Lewis getting the feed from Shane Baldwin on this in the Wildcat formation. Maybe just getting fresh legs in there might help a little bit. This Wildcat formation they've used already previously, but maybe that's a different thing that they're thinking about right now.
Wildcat, Shane Baldwin back here. Got the direct snap, and he's running straight to the middle, breaking all kind of tackles.
Nice job.
Guy had him by the shirt, but he kept right on through it. And they're going to finally haul Shane Baldwin down at the Arrow 37-yard line.
I like this. That guard pulled, made a great block right up the middle, barely untouched until he gets grabbed by the jersey there and gets the parachute drill some exercise. And finally gets brought down by a couple of Arrows, but great play. That's what they needed.
Shane Baldwin.
There he goes again.
Gonna run again outside right in, but they shut it down for a very little gain, and it's 3 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the game.
Yeah, the decision making here is much better. He's seeing what he wants, and he's going after it. If he's going up the middle, if he's not there, he pushes to the outside. Now, I think you gotta do something different. These 2 runs, they're expecting runs now. They're thinking that they're going to keep going back to it. They got to keep them on their toes. This crowd you hear the crowd in the background a little bit. They're stomping. They're feeling it. They want something big to happen.
Here's Devon Jackson in the game now. You know the play that they've been running for him. We'll see what happens. He's lining up left like you're going to put him in motion over here to the short side. We'll see.
Shane Baldwin's yelling to Hayes Camus, get over to the right side.
Here's Jackson coming more flag on the play. And that will be against the Knights.
Unfortunately, it's been a trend this entire game, shooting themselves in the foot with penalties. Man. Now it's going to be second down and about 12.
Second and 12 it is.
With about 3 minutes left, this is definitely the drive. They're going to be going for on 4th down without a doubt. And they need a touchdown. This could be a heartbreaker or a miracle.
So here come the Knights over the ball. Baldwin back there, kicks Jackson in motion, fakes the give, and he's running straight north with it, but very little gain on the play. 2:56 left to go in the game.
Yeah, he's got, I don't know what Devon Jackson's got to do. He's not really doing anything. He just kind of looks like a decoy. Number 55, Stephen Marker, not only intercepting the ball, but making a great stop. I mean, it's hard to bring someone that slippery down. And he made a good tackle doing that.
Got a Knight down injured on this play. Can't catch a number. He's down flat on his back. The training staff is attending to him. 2:46 left to go in the affair.
Crowd still here. Crowd, some of them on their feet, getting into the game. Again, a nice turnout from both sides of the teams. As you said, coming down from New Carlisle. Great representation of their team.
So that was Shane Baldwin that was down.
That's a big playmaker for them. Still got his helmet on. That's a good sign.
Of course, now, if Northwest decides to throw the ball, they got to remember that the last pass they threw got, intercepted or just plain blocked? One got intercepted and one got blocked.
Yeah, and Stephen Marker was the, he instituted both of those, really. Both of those stops and interceptions. So we'll see if, I don't think he can stay in the game. He's got to be out for at least one play. He looks like he's fine, though. He's just stretching it out a little bit. He probably just needed a breather, playing both sides of the ball like that.
And 3rd down and 9 to go. Nice. Got to come up with something back to throw, and over the middle, and that no one is looking for the pass. Looks like Devon Jackson was thinking the fly pattern, and this guy thought he was going to pull up.
Yeah, this is a textbook wheel route. He's coming out of the backfield. He's going up the sideline, and it was just underthrown. I don't know why he was. I think I'm going to put that onus on the quarterback. The wheel route usually is a deeper route, and you go down the sideline, and honestly, that was probably the quarterback's fault. He probably should have led him more. And you saw Devon didn't even look until he was past the defenders, and the only reason he passed the defenders is because the defenders were going after the ball that was thrown.
4th down, 9 to go, 2:19 left in the game.
This is probably the game here for Northwest. They need to convert here. Trips to left.
Who's going to get the carry? Back to throw. He's looking left, and they're sacking this guy. Ball's out, but it doesn't matter at this point. Knights turn this ball over on downs. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left to go in the game, and Tecumseh Arrows come in here and
wow, blowing it up. Cameron Moore again and Seth Martin, both recipients and executioners really at this point. And you got to give them credit. They've been playmakers all day. They've been in the backfield. They've been playing both sides of the ball in Cameron Moore's case. And Seth, I mean, they've been the people we've talked about all game. And when the time came to make a play for your team, they came up and made the plays they needed to.
And to the Arrows' credit, you know, they braved difficulty and peril getting down here. Ooh, and now they're in position to run this clock out.
Well, I know they have at least one more timeout. So they'll get another playoff here, probably take it down to about 2 minutes, till another timeout, and they'll get the ball back. So they get another possession, and if a miracle happens, they're going to get the chance to do it.
Well, this is OHSAA football, and it's not the Vatican, so I don't look for too many miracles up in here.
Hey,
it is what it is once you get to this point in the game.
The fans that have stuck around are wishing for that, I'm telling you. As a fan of football, you wish that your team, even in the unlikeliest situations, can make something happen. And if they're excited about it and they play hard, things do come around. So you never know. And they're playing hard. That was a good tackle. They got a loss in the play, or for no gain at least.
Well, I'm hoping that you're pulling for them properly, Patrick, and they do what you want them to do.
Ooh.
Because after a while, if that carry looks like he picks up about 5 yards, clock still running on, clock stopped, 2:04 left to go.
Yeah, when you're trying to run out the clock, a pitch is not necessarily a play call you usually do, because there's a higher chance of a fumble or a botched play to some degree, of fumbling. So we have another night on the ground, unfortunately. But
So Northwest is out of timeouts now. And we've been told from our crew in the truck, Mr. Hugh Staples. Truck's been giving us good information tonight, helping us along. Hugh Staples, Tony Suarez, got Butch Culbreth up on camera. Luigina Urino back with us this year. And Ricky Williams and Kent Lips. This is our crew, again, Waycross Media, brings these crews in with you, helps give these games to the public every week during high school football season. And we got high school basketball, wrestling, softball. You know, we need volunteers to come down and help share and donate time for these young people.
He's still on the ground, Jacob. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, we still got an injured player down.
Unfortunately, he hasn't moved a whole lot either. I hope he's okay. You don't want to, especially at the end of the game right now when he's just trying to make a play, that he gets injured on something that may or may not be impacting the game at this point.
Here he comes. Well, they got it. They're showing it off on the scoreboard, too, that they did none left. I'll tell you, I've seen Northwest play my share of games in the past couple of years, and I don't know, it just didn't seem like they had a whole lot of urgency or intensity about themselves when they came here today. And it's almost like they expected to win.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're at home. They have that confidence where they probably should have. I mean, they came off a shutout win their last game last weekend on last Friday, and they had that confidence. They probably thought this was going to be a rollover game.
Looks like Shane Baldwin, the injured Northwest player, is going to be coming off the field. I don't know, from the looks of it, they should have him ready to go next week.
Yeah, that's the second time he's been on the turf, too. So hopefully it's not something that's going to be reoccurring of the same injury.
3rd and 5.
Oh, they're stopping play again.
Timeout. Tecumseh.
Huh. It's unusual to have a timeout right after an injury that's lasted a while. You would think they would have everything in order by that time. Something you don't see very often. I guess they maybe were coming out in a certain formation, wanted to see the defense, how they were coming out, and then call an appropriate play after that. Because you figure, I mean, they're going to definitely run the ball. 3rd and 5. This is a running situation. If this isn't, I don't know what is. You're trying to run out the clock. You got a manageable down where you can get a first down by running the ball. Which, if you do get a first down, the game is over. So this 5 yards is game over for Northwest if they don't stop them here. So maybe a quality timeout. We'll see.
So under center, here comes Tecumseh. They pitch to the right. He's round right in, and he near first down territory to where it's close enough for them to go for it on 4th down here.
But luckily, for the Arrows, he stays in bounds. They pitch it to the short side of the field. If they were going to pitch it, you would think they would pitch it to the other side and switch it so he has more of the field to stay in bounds with. But they're going to obviously wait till this clock goes all the way down and call a timeout for the play clock here. So they can, I'm going to guess, punt. But we don't know that.
I think punting is dangerous.
It is.
Got a chance of a bad snap. This guy doesn't look too nimble. If it comes to him grabbing for a jump ball.
Well, he did a good job when he's backed up in his end zone that one time.
He did.
So we'll see. I mean, it looked like the offense was still on the field at that point. It looks like they're still in the huddle on the sideline. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. In fact, it's 50-50.
And both sides are now out of timeout. So, Northwest.
I don't. And if I'm Northwest right now, I make sure they don't beat me on that pitch. I'm making sure I'm getting everybody on that line of scrimmage and making sure that my guys know that first priority is up the middle, being a short yardage situation, and then second priority is that pitch, have containment. Because they're not, I mean, if they're going to throw the ball, let them beat you throwing the ball. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If they're going to get the first down, it's game over anyway. You make sure they don't get the first down the way they've been getting the first down.
So here comes the Arrows breaking their huddle.
Well, they're going to have a guy back here.
Number 4, Tyler Pruitt in the backfield.
Cortez McInnes is back to receive a punt. And he's going to, let's go, yep.
It's like he's going to make this first down, and that's the flag on the play, though, but more than likely that'll go against the Knights.
Interesting defense there. James Dean for the Knights are saying they didn't get it. From the spot, it looks very close.
Okay, so that flag is against the Arrows.
Yep, and that's going to hurt.
1:15 left on the clock here.
Oh, good stick right up the middle by number 5, James Dean. That's why he was pumped, because he had initial contact. Unfortunately, he couldn't hang on, and the group had to come and get him. That's why he was so excited. But the penalty, I mean, regardless, it's not going to matter. It's going to be about 4th and 5.
So here they march off the yardage now. 4th and 4, they'll call it. 1:15 left to go in the game.
Well, the offense is still on the field, and Cameron Moore's at quarterback now.
Okay, there's the punter back there, number 78. Looking to kick this punt for the Arrows, and This is where the Knights need to jailbreak this punt, unless it's a fake, and this guy Moore is going to get the snap.
Yeah, I definitely look for the fake here, but
gets it off.
Yeah, I didn't think there was
Cortez McGinnis picks it up. He breaks his tackle, but now 43.2 seconds left to go in the game here.
Unfortunately. Sorry, Jay. Unfortunately, Cortez, I mean, he did a good job picking up the ball and securing it, breaking a little bit of a tackle. I think that's 3 tackles instead. And, yep, that 4th one, just he couldn't break.
Didn't have any blue jerseys there to help him.
Yeah, there's that one to help him out with that 2nd tackle break. But other than that, it was a tough one. As you see Seth Martin right there, he's firing up his defense as the leader should, number 59. You see him right there.
Yeah, he's played his heart out for the Arrows tonight.
Yeah, I like this guy. He's 6'4", 250. It's a big boy. And he's made a big presence this evening.
So here comes the Knights, their last chance. Brandon Shelton back there waiting for the snap.
DeMarco Lewis coming on the field late.
Jump ball. Go to ball, Shelton. He's rolling to his left, get out of bounds then.
Oh, he just got taken down. Well, 35 seconds left. He's got to throw this ball. He's got to do something with it. He's just sitting back there pumping. Every time he pumps, something bad happens. I'm not going to lie to you. First time he pumped, he fumbled the ball, and luckily they got back. He didn't fumble it this time, but he gets driven out by Stephen Marker again. Stephen Marker making a play for the Arrows. Seth Martin, Stephen Marker, they're terrorizing. I mean, the 3 with Cameron Moore have been great defensive players for the Arrows.
2nd down, 8 to go. Knights got time for a couple plays if they manage the clock right here, but they need to manage some yardage first. Back to pass to Shelton. He's looking to throw deep.
He's got him.
Just out of the reach of number 15 for him. Jordan Booker.
Yeah, Jordan's 6 foot tall. He needed probably to be about 7 foot tall to catch that pass. He had him though. He was open. He was going up the seam, and he needed to. I mean, he's open right there. I mean, he could have got stuck a little bit by the.
Yeah, he would have took a sticking if he had caught that ball.
That hit would have been on point too, because he was there ready.
So 3rd and 8, 30.2 seconds left to go. I'd let somebody run the ball. Just tell him to run out of bounds.
Good
Here's
pressure.
the pass over here.
Oh,
right
man.
to his arms. Number 15, Jordan Booker.
Oh, man.
Course,
Well, I'm sorry.
Those passes out there in the flat like that, those are basically I give up plays, if you ask me.
Especially when they go through your hands.
Really. So here we are, 4th and 8, 26.2 seconds left to go.
Yep.
And this is the fork in the road, or the stick of fork in a moment for this game, Patrick.
Well, I mean, we were saying about miracles earlier. This is the time to get one. They best be praying on this play if they're going to just get a 1st down even. And Shelton's got to throw the ball. He's got to throw the ball, make a decision, throw the ball.
I don't think they're going to let him stand on his feet long enough to throw it. He's back to throw. He's looking deep.
Well, he's not going to get it.
Then the guy's, oh my goodness. Ball's intercepted by the Arrows, and he's coming back for return on this. This is number 5, Connor Henry.
There you go.
He's brought down and 11.9 seconds left to go in the game. And from here, the Arrows can take it on home, knowing that they've rolled into the round table here at Northwest High School and handed the home team their first loss of the 14 campaign here.
Yeah, this is definitely a loss for sure. They're not going to come back from this one, unfortunately, with 12 seconds basically left to go. They're just going to be in victory formation, taking a knee. I mean, the biggest play we had for the Knights was that 93-yard touchdown run. That was it. Otherwise, their offense was stagnant. They really got to do something. I mean, granted, their defense is good. They got a good defensive front with Seth Martin, Cameron Moore, and Steven Marker, they've been good, but Northwest has got to come out with something different.
Is victory formation, and we see where the Tecumseh Warriors come in here and hand the Northwest Knights 14-9 defeat. This has been Waycross Community Media with all of its assets bringing you tonight's game. And for my partner, Patrick Lewis, coming in here to help me out, we appreciate his help and all the support from the Northwest faithful. But unfortunately, they'll have to tee it up again next week when they come in here against Raw. So, for all the assets of Waycross Media, this is the left-out left-hander. 50-yard line in the rearview mirror, opponent's goal line under a magnifying glass.
Copies of this program are available for $20 each. Send program title along with your address and check or money order to Waycross Community Media. Attention Dub Coordinator, 2086 Waycross Road, Forest Park, Ohio 45240. Or buy securely on the web at www.waycross.tv.